Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan Stevens on the line. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday.
Weird Job Wednesday.
Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job brought to you by Streamline Mortgage Solutions, Streamline Florida, and now StreamlineCalifornia.com.
Ooh la la.
The first Tom and Dan listener in California that uses Streamline, I'll send them a full Tom and Dan dry bag filled with villain merch, coffee.
Yeah, we'll send you everything we didn't know we had. We'll send you a whole bag of stuff we didn't even know we made.
Just because I want to see if we got 56 California BDMs.
50 cent?
56. And if someone, even if you have a friend, just say that you heard from Tom and Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't even get 60. Come on, we can get 60.
Tell your friends,
Four more friends.
StreamlineFlorida.com. Steven's on the line. How you doing, Steven?
Doing pretty well today.
So
That's
Steven,
good, man.
A little hot out here.
I'm glad you're having oh, you're outside.
What is your
I'm in
job?
the truck at the moment. I do air conditioning work, residential.
Oh,
So
that's a rough job.
Yeah.
I feel like that job,
You're the hero of the day.
like AC in Florida, alcohol, medical marijuana now.
Yeah.
What else is like recession proof and is never going to go down? Like every single person that lives.
Asian massage.
Like you can't live in Florida without AC.
No.
Right?
No.
I mean,
you can, but my God.
yeah. It would be
I've done
miserable.
it. I mean,
it'd be a miserable existence.
I even just going to camp for like a week is horrifying. My AC was out for one night. It was terrible.
So, Steven, let's talk about AC because it feels like it's always the same thing. I just talked to, I believe it was Bart Merrick, where he, because he always lived in like a high rise, right? But he bought his first house.
Right,
that's
yeah.
right. That was
Yeah,
last
so
year.
I live pretty close to Bart. Bart and Crystal sold me my house, so I'm right in the same area as Bart is now.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, small world.
So Bart was having AC problems, and then I'm like, "Give me the phone." So I started.
When you
walking.
grabbed his cell phone out of his hand, like, give me the
Bart
phone.
Merrick's phone?
No.
Hello, who is this? This is the AC man. This is Tom Fan, Big Tom Businessman here. You're not going to be jerking him around. This is my friend. He works with my wife, and we have the pillows to prove it.
Well, first,
I want one of those lighters.
obviously told him that you gotta call American Air and Heat.
Yes.
I
I just used them yesterday.
yeah, and
Took them all of 38 minutes to fix my entire AC.
But there's some simple things because a lot of the problems are common, I would believe. So, Steven, would you say that like 90% of the issues that people have are the same thing, like the clogged up line or the freezing over?
That is so much of what I do. Is somebody goes, "Hey, my thermostat's blank. I don't know what to do." Like it's the line. It's always the condensate line. Buy a shop vac. Just have that thing around. And save yourself the trouble, actually bother to do the maintenance. I was laughing my head off listening to you guys complain in the studio about, and then Dan lying about doing maintenance to the AC guy over it.
You didn't even call me out, Steven.
Well, that's what we said. You lie about
yeah, you're
Yeah.
shamed.
Well, you know, and that guy knew, like, when I said,
have you changed your filter every 3 months?
I just took it out. I threw it away. I didn't want you to have to bother with
We're
it.
like, never even had a filter.
No. In fact, I was supposed to put
One
one in
of
there.
the first things I look for is the worn-out filter from a year ago that's in the stuffed in the trash can right as I drive up.
And then I like how they'll lie to you as if you give a damn about what
Yeah,
they're
you don't
doing.
care. You got to fix it no matter what.
But they don't want to be shamed.
Your house, you want to breathe nasty air. That's on you.
Yeah. But people don't want to be shamed, Stephen, because I don't know if you know this, but everybody is so lazy.
Yeah, I don't want to be shamed.
Yeah. We're all so lazy.
I don't want to go to bed thinking that one person that might have think I'm an okay guy is pulls up, sees the air, the thing in the trash, and is like, oh yeah, look at this knucklehead. This guy's an idiot.
So, Stephen, you show up to someone's house, and then let me ask you this. When you know it's going to be the clogged up line, right? They didn't put the vinegar in, they did no maintenance, and their line's clogged, and their system stopped working, right? And
do you automatically get the shop vac out and just walk to the door?
Well, you got to kill some time because if you do it too fast, then the people will get mad that you pay for the service fee.
You know what makes me uncomfortable is when
completely.
When you pull
under
up
5 minutes, they're mad about it, even if the air's back on.
Yeah, but that's where you pretend like you're doing more work than you actually are, right? That's what I would do. I'd go in there, I'd get on my ladder, I'd open their attic, look around,
poking around. Pull some drawers open, close some doors.
Yeah. Then I'll
stomp
go
around a little bit.
Then I'll go around where they can't see me, and I'll just look at my
scroll on your
phone.
phone.
Yeah. But they think you're working on.
But I'm gonna make noise. I'm gonna go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna take one call. I'm gonna have a, and I'm gonna be like. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
You didn't get what you
Nextel.
just wanted. Jerry didn't do it. I'll get back.
Then you go outside, you spin the fan out there.
What I don't like is when you guys get there, the appointment's at 8:30, and you guys pull up at 8:30, but you sit in your van until 8:40, and I don't understand why you're doing that. But you're looking at a bunch of papers, you're looking at dials, you're talking to Jerry. I don't know why you're doing that.
Just trying to summon the courage to go deal with another 98-degree day all day.
Thank you. An honest answer. That's what
AC is broken.
Yeah, that's an honest answer because they always pull up, and then it makes me nervous because I'm looking out my window looking at you because I've been waiting for you, and you drive up, but then you sit in your van for 10 minutes rustling papers.
Steven, what's the oldest AC you've ever seen still running?
Probably mine.
Ice powered. It's ice powered.
Have you gotten there and said oh my God, this is a vintage AC?
I had one maybe a year ago, and this was just at a house kind of just off Conway near Curry Ford area. It's an older couple. Their health is just awful, and I feel so bad for them. They have no money, and their air conditioner is from 1982.
Oh, man.
Wow, that's my year I was born.
At least 84 is Mary Lou Retton. 82, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, 40 years.
But if it's still running.
How is it still running?
Is it cold, or is it blowing 80?
It lost a motor on the inside unit. I had to work very hard to track one down because they made it clear, these people have zero money, terrible health conditions, and it's the middle of summer, so what are you going to do? I found a motor for them, and I made it work and told them, you got to go beg, borrow, or steal from some family members or something, because this thing is not going to be reliable, and haven't heard from them since. So
dead.
Heat stroke.
Definitely dead.
It's insulting to breathe hot oxygen
in their faces.
Yeah.
So, Steven, because I imagine that, I remember when I was...
You're going to ask him about being propositioned, right?
Well,
because every AC guy gets propositioned by loose women.
Me and the Grizz stayed in this duplex over by UCF back in college, and it was a S-hole.
Before you guys got there or during...
I mean, when we moved in, we didn't have high standards, so it was
didn't
bad.
care, yeah.
And then we just made it real bad.
Yeah,
through I mean, the grass. It was horrible. And one time, our AC would constantly freeze over because the management company that was managing duplex didn't care and would never do anything.
But you weren't turning it down to 52 degrees and trying to freeze it up.
No, well, anytime we would turn it low, it would just immediately freeze over, and then you'd have to wait for the ice to thaw out, and we turn it back on. It was just breaking all the time.
Gotcha.
So because of that, it created what I can only describe as a mold monster in the box of where the return was, where I took the actual filter off, and then there's a square box where inside an apartment return or whatever. And in that box, the entire, it was like I was doing some claymation. It was black. It was like black as space.
Coraline.
Oh, right. And it used to be plywood, but it was all black mold.
Look like the set for Nightmare Before
Yeah.
Christmas. It's all black felt.
It was the most mold I've ever seen.
Oh my God,
And,
Jack Skeletons.
and that's when I had I had an asthma attack that I had my neighbor take me to the
You have
emergency room.
asthma?
No, I couldn't
that's just
breathe.
mold poisoning, I feel
I had
like.
some sort of mold
Spores
poisoning.
got in there.
Yeah.
And then I called them, and it took days to come. We lived like that. It was
That
horrible.
remediation stuff is no joke, man.
No, we just sprayed it with some bleach, me and the Grizz, and no one came out, and like we lived like that
Oh
for
my
more.
God.
So how bad have you seen the mold problem? I'm sure you've seen some doozies.
What you're talking about is in most of the cheap rentals I've ever worked in. It gets so nasty, it's just disgusting. It looks like that, almost like that rubbery stuff you line drawers with, but it's just mold growing on them. And these owners don't want to fix this stuff. They don't want to pay anything more than just the bare minimum. They don't care that the tenant's got a $500 a month power bill on like a one-bedroom. They're just like, no, just keep it cold enough that the tenants stop complaining and keep paying me my rent. And I have no idea how I haven't had more health problems from all of like the fiberglass and mold I've been breathing in for years now. But it is so nasty, the stuff that gets in there. I really, again, why I stress to everyone to have maintenance done on a regular basis is so it doesn't spend 15 years growing in there and turning into a mold monster.
What will it do to you, though?
Well, I think only the black mold is actually bad
Yeah,
for
why
your
is
health.
it got to
Like,
be the black mold, right?
like there's mold everywhere. Like you could eat mold. There's mold on
Yeah.
bread. You know, like mold is mold crazy. Like,
Can you get, thank you. That's coming from Professor Mold, obviously. Mold is mold crazy. I want everyone to know that. Like, can I get a speck of black mold and just put it somewhere and and it'll just go nuts?
You got to put it somewhere dark and wet.
Hey now.
Inside of an air conditioner.
So Steven, what? Like, okay, essential.
You're gonna ask about being propositioned, right?
People used to have window units a lot, and there's still houses
People
where
still use the hell out of window units
Yeah.
because it's a way to save on energy costs. You shut down the rest of the house, and the only room you're in, you put your
Yeah.
window unit on.
But I've always heard that it's like more energy to like cool a house from dead to heat than it is to
Who
keep
said
a house
we're
cool.
recooling it? We're just cooling that one room.
Yeah, I guess you're okay.
It is.
Yeah. So what is it, Steven?
It is. I get asked that a lot, and I tell everybody, like, don't turn the AC just off during the day, because when you get home and it's 95 degrees inside your house, and you got to turn the AC on, and now it's got to run for like 6 hours solid just to try and get the temperature down and get the humidity out of there. People wind up breaking their AC system because it had to run so hard, and the whole idea was trying to save on power. And like, just set it like in the mid 80s. You don't want to hang out in there, but it's going to keep the temperature down enough that it can recover from that fairly quickly.
Have you ever seen an eccentric person that needed?
it hot.
No, I was thinking the opposite.
heat.
That wants to keep their house at like some absurd like 62 degrees or something like that.
They
like,
have to have it that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
I've got one this afternoon, and I hope the guy doesn't realize I'm talking about him. He complains the system's not working because the upstairs won't get below 71.
Whoa! I mean,
That sounds like my wife. That's pretty close to Andrea. Andrea runs that thing like a meat locker, man.
getting down to 70. That's crazy.
I thought you ran yours at 70, didn't you?
72 at night in the middle of the night. Like Crystal likes to sleep like that. But 70 degrees.
Yeah, so does Andrea. Andrea likes it at 70.
What? How?
I think that's too cold.
Okay, Steven, how cold could you get your house? Like, okay, say you're rich. You got an oversized unit, a smaller Winter Park house. You got enough insulation and windows.
We're gonna beef it up.
Yeah, and then
So if you didn't care about your power bill, had everything kind of set up right, you could get it down into the upper 60s in the summertime if everything was set up right. I don't think you could get it much colder than that because you just got too much heat trying to get into the house and all the cold air trying to escape it, even with good ductwork and windows and insulation and things. But your system's just never going to shut off, and it's going to burn through parts fairly quickly at that rate.
How much do you know about the duct cleaning scam that's going around? I know we talked to a BDM.
I just go up there to old ladies' attics. I spray. I'm like, oh, you're good. You're good. Give me the thousands.
So what's up with that scam?
It's a complete scam. You get somebody with a stepladder and a shop vac poking around at the vents and saying they cleaned everything out, and they didn't really do anything. There are good duct cleaning companies out there that I've recommended to my customers, and it's an involved process. They come out there and take everything apart and put these big vacuums and hoses and things that can go through the
That's too
whole
hard.
thing
I
and
just go up there with
pressurize it.
I just vacuum a little bit. That's too hard to take it all apart. And plus, I don't know anything about air conditioning, so it would be a bad idea to take it apart.
So
But yeah, those Facebook scams are just that. It's a
How much-
total scam that they say, oh, $200 will clean your entire duct system, and they haven't cleaned anything.
How much does it cost? About $200? Is that what the going scam rate is?
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Steven, you know what's always bothered me with AC repairmen is that they have to wear some sort of pants, and they can't wear shorts because I'm sure the boss makes them wear
that's
pants.
psychology. If you're wearing shorts, I don't trust an AC man that wears shorts because his work isn't good. An AC man
Well,
with
I'm sorry
pants.
to say, Dan, you're not going to trust me then. I work for myself. My dad started the company, and he's still with it, but I got to pick whatever I felt like wearing for work, and I wear cargo shorts every day.
No,
it's
see,
convenient to have some
you
big
need to wear
pockets to drop
pants.
some
It's
tools and
psychology.
things in.
It's just business psychology. If you're wearing pants, I know that you can get any building to a level of comfort, of coolness, that where you can wear pants. If you're wearing shorts, you don't trust yourself. You know, you might keep it hot. I leave the shorts on just in case I get hot. It's business psychology.
Polyester Dickies pants, though, that come down there a little too tight and covered in mastic stains.
Steven, has YouTube hurt your business? I've thought about this before because like you said, 90% of calls are
Well, TikTok has really hurt his business because he loves the challenges and he can't stop doing them. He has no time to fix air conditioning.
It's always a clogged pipe, and nowadays you could look up on YouTube and you see 1,000 videos of how to self-diagnose, problems or whatever.
Right. I think those people do more harm than good, though. I bet.
Same thing with mechanics and stuff. Like it's always the same thing for the most part, and you could fix it yourself. And before YouTube, nobody knew how, so you had to call professional. So have you seen that?
Oh, completely. There's definitely been more people that go online, figure out, I just need to do this with the drain to get that cleared. They've realized they can go get a capacitor, which is a part that goes bad semi-often in the outdoor unit and isn't overly difficult if you're trying things out. And we're at a point now where people can order half that stuff off of Amazon if they're willing to wait, or even Ace Hardware started stocking some of the capacitors, which is a little frustrating for me because those were good money makers, but I also get it. People are trying to save a few bucks, and if they can get their AC back on and not have to pay me, I get why they're going to.
I don't trust
myself. It's cut into
myself.
some of the easier service calls, so now I'm just left with the hard stuff to deal with, and it makes my job kind of miserable some days when I only get one complicated call after another.
Right. No, I'm the exact opposite. I'm not anti-fixing it yourself, but there is some sort of pleasure I get out of calling somebody like you, Steven, and having you come and do it because you're going to do it quick. You're going to know all the little tricks and all the little things to watch out for that can be problematic. I don't want to mess with that, man.
Steven, I'm going to leave you today with a brilliant business idea.
He always said, every day when we leave the studio, Tom leaves us with a new brilliant business idea.
And, you could buy me a drink once you get rich off this, okay? So every house I've lived in has the same tiny black tube that drains out the condensation water from the AC unit next to your fan outside, right? And that's that's the same tube that you have to go suck out with the shop vac when it gets the green slime monster in there. Because I didn't do any maintenance, right? But it's always just a small, cut off black tube of the same thing sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, it's really it's not purposeful.
So what I want is have you ever seen the movie The Money Pit with Tom Hanks?
Wow.
There is
Going back to
I'm
the
familiar with
late
it.
80s.
there is a cherub statue, like the stereotypical cherub statue that does a pee-pee fountain on the you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I want
Condensation weenie.
I want a tiny cherub statue that go.
Oh, you got to be rich to have a novelty condensation tube.
No. You can get them. We can get them printed in China with plastic. I know a guy
make
who.
little Dan Dennis.
Hold on a second. You guys have been spending too
Sell it
much
on
time.
You know what,
Tom.
Steven? I'm taking this idea back.
Oh, he's
You
taking it back.
guys
He's
have
now
made
in
it
the
back.
Goonies.
I'm doing it myself.
You and Sam are spending too much time together. You're going to bully me
You
by
gotta get
making.
one in there that's just dribbling out like an old man with a prostate
That's
problem.
me.
The way
Yeah,
that water
That's
comes out of there.
me.
Checks out.
I want a tiny.
That's called, what is it called? Cymbalta. I got Cymbalta-pene.
Is Tony Palmiotti listening?
No.
What do you think? He hasn't listened to the show
Get
since he
Tony
started
on the
helping
line.
us.
We need.
He's on a cruise.
we can get them molded in China. A
Yeah.
tiny
Wu
Daniel
hands,
chair.
a couple of Wu hands.
And then all you do is it has a something in there that it reroutes the water
Yeah, it's just
into
like
the cherub's.
It's a nipple point.
little,
You just push it in there.
Yeah, and then you put the black tube in the
into
bottom,
it, and then it sprays
Yeah,
out of
and then
my
instead of just a black tube, it comes the cherub.
decorative.
What do you think, Steven?
Oh, I think it'd be great. I think you'd get a lot more people paying attention to it and maybe doing some maintenance on their AC system. I think you could come up with some different things just dribbling out of the human body and leaving some slime trails behind. There's no way that could go bad.
There you go.
And then
You heard it from Steven.
But you would be more apt to look at it to see if there's water coming out because no one's paying attention to the tiny
Why
black
don't
tube.
you just make it a big peen
Well,
right out of the ground?
No,
like a
because the
zombie?
neighbors.
Well, you can make a bunch of them. Why don't we do you could do Tennessee Volunteers, you could do Florida State.
Or why not some sort of mechanism that you put on there that could like text your phone or give you an
well,
alert?
now you're talking about hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, just a cherub, a
They
molded
actually
plastic cherub.
They do have some of that stuff where you can tie some of the sensors into smart thermostats that will send you alerts when things shut off, just to let you know you need to get things called for service. I've put in a few of them. Most people wind up just using their smart thermostats, so when they're watching TV at night, they don't have to stand up to make it colder in there.
I
They
do
can
not
feel it.
Nah, it's too
like
complicated. We need a
hate the
39.
smart- I hate smart thermostats. I like my thermostat to be the size of a brick, cigarette yellow with
analog stick,
one tiny stick at the
Yeah.
top that you push to blue and it red. That's what I want, and it's got to be cigarette yellow. It's the only ones I'll use. So these Nests are ruining us. They don't
Yeah.
work half the time. The one here is a hunk of S.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is garbage. It is. I'm gonna go get I'm gonna
Yeah.
go buy us a big cigarette yellow thermostat. Slap it on there. We'll never have a problem.
And then I'll put a big glass box
Yes,
over it with a tiny lock so no one can use it. Like a real company. All right, Steven. Thanks for participating today in Weird Job Wednesday.
Yeah, you win, man. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it, and please be careful out there.
Stay cool out there, Steven.
How dare you?
Will do. It's good talking to you guys.
All
right,
right,
see
good
ya.
talking to you too, man. Take care. I'm a nice man.
I feel like everyone who participates in this
Hates it.
at the end they're like, "Gosh, shouldn't
Waste of time.
I think he was doing that as a favor to me because
Is he
you're
right?
actually
Oh my
a
God, that's
sponsor
your
of
AC guy?
Semantics.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you should
Oh.
have. Sam, if you're gonna have one of your sponsors on the show, you need to tell us so we don't insult them.
I didn't know. I thought it was a
That's fine.
rando.
Yeah, and your dumb cherub penis idea for the
You stole
stupid.
it back from him. You offered it and then took it immediately back.
You know what? We are so embarrassing.
Does anybody have any decorative statue that reroutes the dripping water?
Oh my God, I got one for you. Louis Armstrong.
No.
Out the trumpet?
Yeah, right out the trumpet.
All right, we're gonna be careful. You can't put that on your outdoors on your front of your house. or
You
side.
got a clog in me.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Welcome to the show, everybody. Check out tomanddan.com. Sign up to be a BDM member where you get extra shows. Parties are starting to be planned.
Oh yeah, we got the BDM Beach Party coming up in September.
That's going to be awesome.
If you're a BDM, you'll get a personal invite for you and a guest.
Yes.
And then you'll get all the details. And if you're not a BDM, you won't get the details. So sign up and make sure your email address is correct if you are a BDM, so you get the emails. Also, we got new Tom and Dan and Villain merch.
Yeah.
We got Tom and Dan and Villain coffee on our merch page.
Some people don't know Villain is a clothing company. It's more of like a beachwear kind of a vibe that's out in Satellite Beach.
Yeah.
We know the owners, good friends of the show, BDM, listens to us, and we've had the opportunity to kind of partner with these guys over the last couple of years, and it's been really, really
cool
fun.
things.
Yeah, they're a small company like us, or they're bigger than us, but they do really cool stuff. So check it out at tomanddan.com under the merchandise tab.
Yeah, and it's limited. He made, I believe it was like
here's
50.
one.
There's only 50 bags of coffee.
Here's one of the Tom and Dan. This is like a waterproof, like a cool golf hat with a new logo on it. That really is pretty damn amazing stuff. And like Tom said,
I think there's only 25 hats. We sold a lot already.
Wow.
In fact, I'm going to offer this one up because, like, since we're, it's us, I don't want to see somebody go hatless. So if you really want one, if we run out, I got an extra.
The BDM Villain All Mesh Snapback Hat is actually the featured item of the week on the website.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, I love that
according to
hat.
Eric,
That's a
so-
black hat, and it's all mesh, so you can wear
I
it
feel
on
like
a
I need
motorcycle.
to get that one because it's
Good for the
hot
beach.
with all the hair.
Yeah, it's good for the beach, but it also keeps your forehead shaded, so you won't get sunburnt like I did at the water park over the weekend.
So speaking of the Tom and Dan Villain coffee that we have for sale right now,
You on a coffee kick, buddy? I got a nice coffee right here. I thought you were switching to coffee.
I started drinking coffee, like 1 cup of coffee every morning a while back. It was pretty like after
Get your poo-poo going?
like I just got in. I never drank coffee before ever. And then right after we remodeled our house or whatever, Crystal bought me a coffee maker, and she designated a little area of our kitchen like the coffee bar. And then she has like the mugs hanging above it or whatever.
That's adorable.
And then I just started drinking 1 cup of coffee.
Welcome to the coffee
How
bar.
long did that trend last?
Does it have a chalkboard that says, not before my coffee? Does it say that? If you have a chalkboard that says,
No.
not before my coffee, I'll punch this desk.
Hey, she did just get me some novelty coffee mugs.
Yeah, you
'cause
gotta have some funny ones. But don't get the ones like Jana and Jason have. Those horrifying. Those are horrifying.
Anyway, but I just got K-cups or whatever, and I didn't know. I didn't know the difference in quality, right?
What do you mean, of like good coffee and bad coffee?
Yeah, because I don't know. I just started drinking it, so I don't really. I didn't really understand how good coffee.
Well,
you
how
get,
far do you
right?
want to go in? Are you going to be a snob, or
No.
you're like I'm just like a casual coffee guy? I like coffee. I drink it almost daily.
I barely can do the K-cup, and then whatever. You know what I'm saying?
God,
Like,
it's one button, dude.
But so then we went on this RV trip, and then in Ormond Beach, I went out to we looked for. I didn't want to cook breakfast; it was too hot.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just order breakfast. We found like this little tiny breakfast place, like tiny,
Diner coffee's the jam, dude.
tinier than our studio. Tiny, like
Get you a big bun. Big bun commercial grade coffee maker.
And then I show up, and it's in like this tiny little strip mall. And when I walked in, it was this, and this is my favorite. And let's talk about this. My favorite breakfast style place.
I did this in Charleston.
Is
strip mall too.
I want an old foreign man cooking, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And his young meek son doing the register
Okay,
and bagging everything up.
Yeah, Deland had that too.
And then I'm like, this is, and it was a tiny little breakfast place,
good.
and they had
Best
a coffee
eggs ever,
bar or
yeah.
whatever. And then I was like, I'll get 1 coffee to go, whatever. And they made me a coffee. Well, obviously, this like guy, I think it was like Hungarian or whatever. He made his the coffee he's been making
love
for
diner coffee.
50 years.
I call it diner coffee, but it always has like a distinct taste to it. There's almost like a little bit of bitterness to it. I love it.
I drank that coffee and I was like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah.
And then there was the
Kicked in the
first
face.
time in my life that I was like, "Wow,
How did they make it?
I have no idea."
It wasn't just plain black
You
coffee,
may have been having
right?
some sort of Hungarian opium.
no.
Oh, they put some kratom in
Yeah,
there.
but you-
they put kratom in it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even go. I've been doing just whatever K-cups of like Colombian roast K-cup.
Just
generic
standard. Green Mountain coffee,
that's
Dunkin'
it.
Donuts.
Yeah, I think it was Dunkin' Donuts that I usually drink every morning or whatever. So
Yeah, that's pretty basic.
But when I drank this guy's coffee, I noticed the difference, and I was like, man, now I see why people become coffee snobs.
yeah.
And then like because
Grind your own beans. I did that for a while.
I
I
went-
did that for a long time.
I went back the next morning just to get another cup of coffee, and then I was like, I'm starting to understand the enjoyment of coffee.
I
was
got
stupid,
a lot of,
but I'm a 40-year-old man.
I got a lot of friends that if they're like craft beer snobs, they'll align where they'll be coffee snob. And the coffee snob I have found to be even more annoying than the beer snob. Like I've got coffee snob buddies of mine that make their coffee with what appears to be beakers and small
Oh, yeah.
little glass devices Like, they don't make coffee out of it. Like, I like diner coffee, big stainless steel bun. You know, you pull the lever and hot coffee, because it's just coffee. That's what I like. But these guys, they're using little crack pipes and little triangular glass balls to gently warm their coffee with like a Zippo lighter, and then they bubble the water, and then they're pouring the hot water over like one bean at a time and in one drip. And I'm like, no, I'm just not going to do that.
Wait, you're like, the best way to drink for the purist is black, right? You like not adding a bunch
Most of those guys do like what they call a pour over, where it's like the fresh grounds. They pour the gently warmed or hot water over and it goes into a cup, and then they drink it black.
And if you are going to add some creamer, because
I go tons of cream, tons of sugar coffee. I go coffee 3 and 3. I do the good old American.
regular sugar?
Yeah, because it's better for me. I figure regular sugar is going to be better for me than Splenda or Sweet and Low or Equal or any of that chemicals. I might as well put a natural chemical in me, and sugar's a natural chemical. It's not good, but I figure 3 packets of sugar, if that's the sugar intake I have for the day, like active sugar, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm choosing to eat it, then that's not that bad.
See, I'm like, I use Splenda or whatever because I don't want the sugar. Like
I don't want it either, but I think those artificial sweeteners, especially Splenda, give me a thing called diarrhea, and it's real bad.
So
Real bad.
If you were going to like make your own coffee at home, or just are K-cups considered
Trash.
trash?
That's what I do too.
Yeah,
I do K-cup, but it's trash. I think
I don't need a whole pot. Like I'm
I
the
don't
one
want a whole
drinking
pot
it.
either.
You don't
But-
have to make a whole pot.
but I think you
Just
get-
put enough water in that you need.
You get frowned on with the K-cup because of the waste. You get frowned on the K-cup because of it's plastic.
So you just put the amount in that what would be in a K-cup, and then just make one cup. But then you got to take out the coffee.
It is a thing. That's why I like to go to.
lazy.
I am, and I think this is most of America. I think that's why most of America, if you're a coffee guy, but you're shamed by the K-cups, because I kind of am. I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I don't like the waste. I don't like having a ton of little plastic cups everywhere.
Yeah.
I hate plastic, but there's no avoiding it, right? And I go to like a Dunkin' Donuts. I get the biggest one I can get, or I go to Starbucks. Starbucks sometimes is a little harsh for me. I'm a Dunkin'. I like a Dunkin' coffee that's got a little bit of sweetness and a little bitter. And a little bit cream. That's what I like.
What's considered the best quality? Because I was asking Crystal this. I was like, well, like Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, obviously like a fast food coffee, right?
Right, yeah.
Like so.
McCafe gets a little more nod. Like, I know Norm and other people I know swear by McDonald's coffee. They love it.
Coffee's not bad either.
I like Wawa coffee.
You get that hazelnut?
I like 7-Eleven coffee. I'm okay with regular coffee because it's coffee.
So
Yeah.
what made this Hungarian guy's coffee so good?
I don't know.
Do you know what was in
Should've asked.
what was
That's
the
what I'm saying.
sweetener?
What was in it?
What was the sweetener in it?
No idea.
No,
I would say that
What was the name of the place?
Was
Maybe
it
I can
sweet?
look it up.
Well, he gave it to me black, and I added my own like a little splash of milk or whatever. It was just that it just
Okay.
tasted
Well, it's
way
probably,
better.
It's probably fresh. He probably. I mean, it might have just been brewed.
Is
And
it
just,
Grind his own
Is
beans?
it? I'm sure he did. I mean, this guy had a whole setup, and it's
Yeah.
like a tiny.
But
you know,
even coffee, like even commercial grade coffee, to me, right out of the pack, right out of the brewer, like I mean, it's
if you grind
seconds old.
yeah.
Awesome.
But grinding your own beans and
Was
then
it Heifer's Country Kitchen?
No.
His eyes lit up for a second.
No,
Oh
no.
my god!
This it was literally like I googled breakfast place closest to us, and it just
Yeah.
popped up. But but grinding your own coffee, how much more?
No,
does
you can
that-
do
Never
that.
done it.
You can
so
do
I
that.
have no
I-
But does
idea.
it make a huge difference?
Yes.
Like
I think it's the most simple thing you can do to get the most amount of impact. I would say taking a raw bean and grinding it and then putting your grounds in and then brewing your coffee is just the most important step, I would say. Yeah.
and what the quality you're tasting is fresh, like
I-
a fresh component
Well,
of that, right?
I'm no coffee scientist, but here's what I would say. The oil that's in those beans is released as soon as you chop them, right? As soon as you cut them, that oil is released. And that's when you're going to get the most amount of flavor and the most amount of like...
and
it's
it's going to
be
dissipate over time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when it's pre-ground, it sits in a vat or where, who knows how old it is? Who knows?
Yeah.
But these beans, you know that they're, you'd like to argue that they're relatively freshly roasted. And you can get beans roasted around here, like right up here in Corinne. You know, there's
Like you bring them beans and they roast them for you?
Well, they have their own that they get in and they roast them locally, meaning they roast them themselves.
Gotcha. So then...
So they're real fresh now because you took a raw bean, you roasted it, and now you're going to grind it yourself and then do a pour over. I mean, that's about as fresh as I think you can get.
Okay.
Again, this is not my lane, but I've seen
yeah.
these people, you know, and they're real picky about it. Real picky about it.
And I'll talk to Ross next time he comes in here. He's a coffee man.
I don't know if he's a picky coffee man, though. I think he's, because he drinks it out of a pickle jar.
Yeah.
Which lead me to believe.
yeah.
He's drinking out of an old, like, boot.
Yeah.
Well, he just recycles.
Yeah.
Could be good coffee, though.
I mean, it could be. It smells good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that back. I smell his pee. His pee smells good.
Yeah. I guess it's like calling a wino a connoisseur of alcohol. You know, like he just likes the wine.
Yeah.
So it's like Ross just likes coffee.
I'm kind of like with coffee like I am with booze, I think, though. You know, like I like just about all of it. You know, I've never... It only takes a minute to have a little bit of like I've only had a little bit of coffee that's like not good. Very rarely have I ever sent a coffee back is what I'm saying. Like if it's diner coffee and it's super bitter or it tastes metallic, I'll just double up on the milk.
Yeah, because you could always, so putting more ketchup on gross fries.
Because, yeah, exactly. I think coffee, that's a perfect analogy. I think that coffee to me is more of a purposeful drink. Like I'm not drinking it because I enjoy the experience of holding the cup and, and I do enjoy the flavor, but it's more about like I drink it and then I think I get that caffeine and I'm like, okay, I feel charged up.
Well, speaking of that experience, I did do the old man drinks coffee, stares off into nature experience.
That's the pop.
Yeah.
It's good.
I did the pop.
Were you high? It's good when you're high, yeah.
Where
stare into the ocean.
I woke up in the morning.
That's also called the old dog. There's a thing now where people do memes of their 14 and 15-year-old dogs it's just an old golden retriever staring into the woods.
Yeah. But by the way, Crystal wouldn't let me take. Like first, I was going to take this K-cup maker. Then I forgot it here, and then I was going to drive back to get it.
Why didn't you get it?
Well, then Crystal's like, just because
I have one too at the house. You could have borrowed it.
Well, I know. I mean, I could have borrowed this one. I have one at my house, but it's too big because it's got some sort of latte thing attached to it that no one ever uses.
Yeah. Ours has like a computer
Stupid.
system. I'm like, I just need coffee.
But anyway, Crystal's like, I have the remember the camping coffee maker that I brought? Crystal's like, I have the camping. She's like, you just have to microwave your hot water, put it in the top, and then put the K-cup in. Then you use by hand. You press the water through the K-cup into the coffee mug or whatever. And she's like, it works fine. It's easy. And I was like mad about I just want to push a button. Anyway, so every morning I would do that and a hot ass microwave. By the way, 3 minutes too long. Like I think it's too hot.
That is too long.
3 minutes.
Well, I thought it needed to get boiling.
To burn the water.
I thought you had to get the coffee hot.
Is there any water left?
Yeah, my God, you're evaporating.
And then I'd put it on the tiny shelf of the RV, and then I'd press the
your hand is shaking,
ready to spray the mug into my groin. Anyway, so once I made my coffee, I would walk out like the first at the Cavern State Park. I walked over to the lake. There's
you stand there.
And then I just stood, like there's people fishing. It's like 6:45 in the morning. And then I'm just slowly drinking my coffee.
This is what you hear.
And I'm like, I know why old men like this.
This is a Florida morning for me. Ready? And then you hear
you got to be high, though.
All you hear is
if I was sober. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you hear while you're standing there with your coffee is that dumb bird making those 4 noises.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And then you go to the bathhouse and you take a long poop and you serve porn.
Then I did the same thing at Jenny Springs where
You'd get up and walk to the lake and hear the bird.
Well, I one-wheeled to the river with my coffee, spilling hot coffee all over my hands.
Why would you do that?
That's the ultimate
because
mixture
I wasn't near
of future and past is one-wheeling to the river. I like that.
And
that's when generations like collide.
Because you got to stand, because we weren't walking distance, and I can't just stand and look at the woods. I needed to look at body of water, and then I did it.
You didn't have like a mug with a lid on it?
You need a lid
I don't.
mug.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me
have,
get you a
like
lid
a
mug.
thermos.
Yeah,
Will
I
you
don't have a
let me,
thermos.
since you're a coffee man, will you let me buy you like an upgraded coffee mug with your name on it?
Yeah, I'll never use it.
You
dude.
need a world's greatest dad.
I'll lose it. I'll forget where it is.
Yeti makes a damn good coffee mug.
I also.
Yeah.
if I bring
Damn good. Keep your coffee hot until the 5 p.m.
If I bring anything into my truck, it'll never leave. It'll get knocked over.
I was amazed at how much stuff is in your truck. I tried to get in your truck, and it's like a hoarder path to the seat. Have you been in his truck?
Not lately.
You gotta
No,
walk
it's
a
bad.
hoarder path to sit down, and you can't even. You have to use it's like a Wendy's bag. You have to pull a Wendy's bag down. The Wendy's bag is kind of holding you in place instead of a seatbelt.
Yeah, I slacked off with the
disrepair.
cleaning.
I remember
Well,
when
the
you were
kid,
like, "I'm going to Mr. Car Wash every week.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
me and
I
Max.
know.
It's our thing."
I know.
Let me clean your car.
You can. It just. Oh,
Let me
God.
get your windows tinted so people don't see you and they're looking like a Sleepy Joe at the wheel. You're bewildered. You're swiping your screen like
I need to tint my windows. My God.
it's too hot in there,
It
man.
is, yeah.
And how are you?
I want a black limo tent.
Yeah, you need to black it out.
And I want.
And you want the baseball visor.
I want some words.
Puerto Rican
on the,
baseball
I
visor.
want some words on my
IEA?
windshield.
Yeah, no, you need. Don't look too hard.
Oh yeah, big block letters.
Don't look too hard. You might break your
Or
eyeballs.
made you look.
Yeah, made you
I
look.
like the made you look.
I remember in high school.
How about cowboy butts drive me nuts?
and
How about that?
in high school with my GMC S15.
I wish you still had that because
Mini
I
truck.
saw an S15 on the road and it was like you could tell the guy was gonna make it into a mini truck and I'm like, yes,
like
mini truck.
I was on the path to get rims, but I got a system first. I got custom
Priorities, yeah.
tins on the back.
I would
and
go system over rims. I
And
would.
I remember I got tent as well. And
Hey, you didn't have to do that for me. Go ahead and say what you wanted to say. Say it.
No,
Tents.
yeah, okay.
I used to bully him because he used to say tents. Because people in Miami, they don't call it tent, window tent. They call it window tents.
And
Okay.
I was there, and everybody speaks Spanish, especially in the window tent industry. There's they don't even have one.
you gotta get some tents.
They don't even have one guy that knows a little English. It's all Spanish, and I'm trying to. I used to know more Spanish when I lived in
Would you
Miami.
get the purple tent with the bubbles on it? Oh, God.
No.
All my friends have
Oh,
purple
yeah.
tent with bubbles in it because their dad tried to do it.
I remember the guy asking me about the windshield, and then I'm like, yeah, I want that too. And then he's like, and then he's telling me how low, and then I'm giving him an idea.
the legal way.
Yeah, and you're like, how low
And-
can you go?
no, I'm just like, well, it's a standard. I'm telling him
Did
the
you have to
standard.
pay
I'm like,
cash, and then he writes
Yeah.
his name on the back of his business card, and that's your warranty because he can't legally give
Oh.
you paperwork because if he did, it would be breaking the law.
I
Right.
couldn't even drive with the windows up at night. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
I had to put the windows down. I could not see through them.
And you're smoking back then.
Yeah, it's hard.
And
Just a crack. You're looking through the crack.
the tent he put on my windshield, you know how you put the strip or whatever?
Yeah, did you do the black strip?
It was so low that I swear to God, at night I'd have to scrunch my head down to see. Like, and then I remember like always bitching. I'm like, the guy did it too low. Like, why didn't he give me the standard? I think he was bullying me. Like, it was a foot.
Oh,
It
I
was
guarantee
thick.
you, he probably had a conversation
Yeah,
with you,
yeah.
but you were uncomfortable
Oh,
and you did agree
uh,
to whatever he said.
He's like, he's probably like, the gringos like it low. He's like, this guy doesn't know what. Or it was easier for him just to put a thick strip.
You ever got a ticket for tent?
Oh yeah.
I did. I did. I got a couple of them. They ever use the?
Oh yeah, they use a meter or
Yeah,
whatever.
they make you put your window down so they can put the meter on there. Oh God, it's such. I hate it. And you would think in Florida they'd have a little bit like leniency, like just on that.
Now there's the new turn it down, keep it down law.
I saw
with the
that. Tell me
noise.
about that.
Basically, like it's up to the officer's discretion. If your car is too loud from 25 feet away, they can ticket you now.
You could probably get out of that.
But
ticket.
my God, it's such a nothing. Like, what are we doing?
It's
Well, that I will tell you that out of all of the things that you could be ticketed for, little Danny Denny is a music too loud man. Like I run my
Yeah.
music not when you guys are riding with me. I'll put it down and I'll try to chirp you.
You might get
But
ticketed.
I would be I bet you I would be at it.
And you're
And you
getting some
too.
tints.
You too. You'd probably be in there too. I know this guy, he don't listen to his podcast loud, but I know you and I rock out in there, man. I turn that stuff up loud.
Well, not anymore.
I don't
I'm
wanna
not
get
trying
a
to get hassled.
Is that cool? That'd be cool if you get a ticket for being too loud. Hey, give me a ticket.
Now,
What
I
is
mean,
it? How much?
I don't know.
It's intended.
$25?
It's intended for people who have giant systems that are insanely loud.
I
It's
don't
not a regular car just playing music loud. They're trying to, target a certain
Is that a
person.
problem? I feel like we have bigger problems than
Exactly. That's my point.
like music being so loud.
Tent
like
being too dark, music being too
I
loud.
would tell you if I thought it was like an epidemic of something like around here. Like people roll through here because this road
And how do you
especially
enforce that?
is a cut through, and we get people, but it's not an epidemic.
No, and it's one of those things
waste of
where
time.
It's just another way for them to pull you over.
old people complain about something. Although I have seen scenarios like if you're at a stoplight on Colonial, who cares? Like play your music and your bass is loud.
Me
as
and
you want.
Maisie like it. Like when we're next to a bass car or a doinked out
Yeah, you
car,
laugh
like
at
we
it.
love it. No, we're like, yeah. We like put our hands up and dance.
Well, you can't ever hear. You only can hear the bass. You can't
Hear the trunk rattling.
Well, that's the thing. You can't hear the music. All you hear is the bass, and so there's no way to even determine what the song is. It's it's not like everybody else can enjoy the music. It's just loud ass bass. I used to have bass in my truck, loud as hell.
Two old men talking about coffee, saying bass is too loud.
Although I will tell you
There it
that
is.
I was at
Holding off till the end of the segment. 'Cause
I was at a
a
park.
whole lot of old man talk, coffee talk, tent talk, noise ordinance
It's
talk.
old man hour. I was at a park at one time, and someone pulled up blasting, and then they left it on for a ridiculous. And then I was like, "Come on, bro! We're just at a park. Why are you blasting
But you know
loud ass music at the Redbug Lake Park? What?
I know
what
this,
are you doing it for?"
I know this isn't always the case, but you have taught me to use the law of people, and the law of people to me is that it like online stuff. That's not people. That's just online stuff. It's nothing. I was at the beach one time with May and Andrea, and there was a guy next to us, and man, he was doing the same thing. It was like the loudest music I'd ever heard in my entire life. But I asked him, I was like, hey, just pointed like, hey, turn it down a little bit. He was so nice and absolutely turned it down. There was no issue. There was no fight. There was no problem. He actually, I think, was drunk and didn't know it was quite so loud.
Well, remember I told you when me and Crystal went to I think it was like New Smyrna Beach on a holiday weekend. It was packed as hell. Like there are people that think like I want to bring a gigantic speaker and blast it as loud, and they're blasting it toward other people, not even for themselves.
Yeah, collateral damage.
And they think they're like, I'm gonna play music for the entire beach, but
It's old man hour. It's fine.
nobody
It's
asked
fine.
for it.
Yeah.
Well, my old man husband brings a giant powered speaker out to the old skating rink, and we blast our music.
Yeah,
I
but
think
people
that's
It's
okay.
usually just us,
Yeah,
though.
because it's just you guys. I feel like that's all right. It's
Okay,
when
Every
it's-
once in a while, there'll be a couple rando people.
It's when you
and
have
travel
speakers,
turn it down.
You don't want
Well,
speakers
they-
battling, right?
And
Like you
that's
don't.
No.
And there's no other music there. You're like enhancing the the environment.
Well,
as
some people
for-
bring their AirPods, and then Travis playing whatever he wants.
And that's fine.
fine.
And the thing is, I don't even care, but I always wonder, I'm like, what are these people, what is their intent? I think they truly believe I am adding to everybody's experience.
There's a bit of
and
that.
I'm bringing the
Look,
party.
man, I've been guilty before, back when Bluetooth speakers were not the norm and you didn't have one in your pocket at all times. Like everybody has one now, right? But there was a time when a Bluetooth speaker was like sort of a new thing. And I would bring my Bose Bluetooth speaker to a pool party and think that I was adding to the ambiance by kicking it up 5 to 6 more decibels than it needed to be. And it's just not the case.
But that's a different scenario. It's like and then you're in public, or like, are you at spring break, Daytona?
I wish I
Read the
was.
room, yeah.
I wish I was.
Is it Tuesday at Redbug Lake Park with a
no.
bunch of kids just
But
running
it
around?
is at Freaknik, I expect it.
You
You better be rattling the pavement.
Are you going down the beach, in New Smyrna or whatever, and there's a party, and then like you're playing loud music? Fine, like what is it? People, I guess, don't know how to read.
Okay, can we
the
address
room.
something since we're jumping into the next segment? But I got something I need to address with you guys that I thought of this morning, and I reached out to your wife and my wife, but I don't think it's going to happen. So Seth continues to invite us to his July 4th
I
party.
got one
Yeah,
yesterday.
he continues to invite us. He texted me this morning,
Oh,
and,
Sam, you should go.
and I told him I made the mistake of letting him know that your sons know the Thong Song by Cisco. And he said, well, bring him along. And
that was
is,
part of the invite, by the way.
So I say, and I already did the heavy lifting for you. I already planted the seed early so we can plan this out. But I think, because I know you're doing a little thing, before your thing, we should load up Dennis's and Vans and go crash his party and go see the Thongers. Jump in his pool.
When
eat
is
his
your
food.
party, Tom? Because
Well,
I didn't get invite to that one, so I
I
just
said,
want to
well,
cross-reference
it's
the
my
time.
display
Can I
is
make?
dusk.
My display is Sunday or Monday,
At
4th of
dusk.
July
Okay.
at dusk.
So yours will be after his.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was thinking. We go there, crash his, eat his party sub, jump in his pool, see the Thongers, and then come back to yours. It'll give us something to talk about. We've never done it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll ruin his party.
I've got friends in town too. Do I bring them? Can I bring
that's
friends?
the thing. We bring everybody. I wanted
They
to
got
bring
an infant.
Okay, follow me.
He
I
said
wa-
Speedos and thongs.
I wanted to bring your mother-in-law. I wanted to bring the birds. Let's socialize. Let's bring everybody, right?
The
Family. Dennis Van family.
I,
The Haars. Bring the Haars.
the thing is, okay. He said pool party, right?
Yes.
So
Thong crazy, he
barbecue
said.
pool party.
So,
Thong crazy.
like
Your
Chris-
boys get to see live thongs. Big ones.
Yeah,
Big.
yeah.
I mean the proper thongs. No, I'm not talking Daytona Beach thong. Not a proper thong.
There's no way Crystal is getting in a bathing suit.
She said that to me.
Yeah. But then,
Wait,
then
what?
She wouldn't get in a bathing suit at Seth's party.
She said she would not go there because she said, I quote,
yeah.
I don't know if I should say that. She said her sons call her a pig.
No,
They poke her belly.
They
What?
Yeah. Well, Maisie pokes my butt and says, you have zits on your butt.
They so then she's just gonna be out there, and then I'm gonna be in the pool with the
coach. Yeah, I'm gonna be volleyball crazy.
Why won't she get? in
I'm
the
gonna be
pool?
Iceman.
Yeah,
She looks great.
She feels uncomfortable. I think a lot of women feel uncomfortable at a pool party, or would feel uncomfortable
Doesn't
going
she
to Seth's
go
pool party.
swimming when you guys have pool parties?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
at
but I
her
mean,
house,
like-
along friends
Yeah.
and
And I've
family. Like if
seen
they're
her, you know.
strangers.
Does
and-
she do it at the beach?
Yeah. Well, she'll.
Is it just
yeah.
because of Seth?
I think it's Seth, and then the setting of.
It's not ideal.
Well, also Seth hangs out with a bunch of 22-year-old
Yeah,
women.
yeah.
So it's an insecurity
Yeah,
thing.
it's like trying to lead
Well,
a prayer at a Hooters. It's just like it's not the setting is weird.
It's like my wife won't feel
My wife.
like she belongs at a Seth's pool party with a bunch of 21-year-old girls.
Well, what about
I don't
this?
know.
So I'm too old to go then.
What if you
No,
and me and
no, no.
Sam? What if me, you, and Sam bring Maisie, Tommy, and Max? Crash it, eat, see the thongs, jump in the pool.
The thing for me is like, what am I doing it for? Like
A story.
The story.
A story.
If I'm doing it just for the story,
going to ruin
And
his
for your
party.
boys, they
Yeah.
like thongs.
Yeah, you're doing
apparently.
it for your sons, really.
the
I knew it. I knew it wouldn't happen. You want to take a break?
yes, I do.
All right, we'll be back with more A Corporate Time right after this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So this
Loaded
is gonna be
couch,
fun.
buddy.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
all the guests.
Fully loaded.
Yes.
The guys
oh,
from-
that's copywritten. Bert
Nope.
Kreischer. Can't say that. Can't say that.
Is it really?
Yeah, I believe it is. Fully Loaded. The Fully Loaded comedy tour.
The
Did not know that.
the guys from Hourglass Brewing are here. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Jordan from Cholo Dogs is
Cholo
here.
Dog.
Hello.
How you doing, Jordan?
Good to see you.
So all right, a bunch of events to talk about.
Yeah, we got to
and-
give you the rundown first, and then we can start
Yeah,
being
yeah.
silly. Because Tom and I have a problem. You know what? I'm not even going to put you in this.
All right.
I have a problem of just getting you guys in here, and then I get excited because I see people I like, and then I just start wanting to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And we got business to do. So let's get the business out of the way.
Well, first, let's. I think there's still some dad jokes, not necessarily in cans. They sold out pretty fast, but on tap left over. Correct?
Yes, we still have a little bit left at our district location down on Curry Ford, and in the tap rooms in Longwood, we're all out. So,
Gotcha.
damn.
So a little bit left at the tap room.
yep, the tap room down off Curry Ford, which actually rolls right into their anniversary this weekend. So hopefully that can be one of the top sellers that weekend.
I love it.
Just go out and finish it, folks.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
We can make that
anniversary.
the goal with our guys. Okay, finish dad jokes for the anniversary. That's our
Shall
gift. That's our gift to our.
And the way Saturday went, that was a great event. Thank you to everybody that came out. I mean, that was fantastic.
Well, it starts
you for
with
you
good
guys.
beer, so it starts with you guys. If the beer sucks,
appreciate
and I've heard this from all the beer guys, if the beer is not good,
It
it
don't matter.
doesn't matter what we're talking about. So thanks to you guys.
So when is the anniversary start?
So district's anniversary is going to be this Saturday. It's going to be all day. They open at 11, rolls till 1 a.m., and we expect it to be. We got music, food trucks, beer releases. We got everything all day. So
Oh, that stout they got is ridiculous. Triple barrel blend.
Awesome.
Under confection. Keep an eye out for that.
Under
Limited.
confection. All right.
So let's talk belly flops. Because
Why? Why would we talk belly flops?
Well, because I saw this on social media first, even before we talked about this, way before our beer release. And I saw a belly flop competition at Hourglass Brewing, right?
The belly flop competition invented by Thomas Butler in 1973.
What? He's a fraud.
That's absolutely true. Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Daniel told me that yesterday because we knew you guys were coming, and actually, my father-in-law's name, which is odd.
Yeah, that's why I say, oh my God. I was like, are you related to the belly flop kings of the world? And he's like, no, I am not.
And all like for sure, that's the first time it's recognized. For sure, they've been doing belly flops since humans have
Dawn of time.
Yeah.
It
Come
reminds me of like it was a category called like danger diving or seriously like it's like pole sitting. Like remember when like the big thing that you would do, you'd put on a fur coat and you'd hold a flag of your favorite team and you'd climb a pole and you'd sit up there to impress girls.
Yeah.
That was some. You had to be crazy horny to do that.
Insanity.
It's a lot of work.
And there's some version of it like Red Bull does where it's
The
like
Fluvog?
No, it's not. It's not only that, but it's like
The belly flopping. Yeah,
But it's not even. It's a weird thing where
you're trying to fly.
They don't. It's a crazy dive, and right before they hit the water, they don't belly flop. They put their legs and arms down because
you're right, yeah.
you could do that and not hurt you. But like when you belly flop, that's where the slap because of the surface area. Anyway, back to belly flop, because when I saw this, I was like, well, what is this? Some sort of joke or some sort of like I was like, well, it can't be a real belly flop competition. I've been to Hourglass Brewing.
Where are they going to do it?
Yeah, we're
into the tank. Into the tank.
The fermenter.
And then you told me, no, this is a actual belly flop competition
Yeah.
with a pool. So
And you're like, wow, these guys are like us. They do dumb stuff.
yeah. Explain to me the setup we're gonna have.
So I'm going to pass this off to Jordan. This
Hello.
was his brainchild.
Oh, this
and
sounds like a
we
Jordan
were-
idea.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah, this
just
got
happy
Jordan
to-
written all over it.
It actually, so this, in a weird way, circles back to this show when you had us on for like Weird Job Wednesday.
Okay.
And so you guys had us on over the phone for like Weird Job Wednesday or something like that. And then 2 weeks later, COVID happened.
Yes,
Oh my God.
Yeah, like
that's what caused it.
well, so but
Ground
Weird
zero.
pandemic Wednesday.
me and my business partner were like, what are some weird jobs and what are some weird things? And we just started going. I remember we talked about like belly flop, like professional, and then forgot about it for years. And then recently we started an event called the Parking Lot Party, which is we take over the Wally's parking lot once a month and we bring 10 food trucks and a bunch of vendors in, just like another area for people to do things at. And we're like, oh, let's keep doing cool events. What should we do? And I was like, belly flop contest. And like, no one's going to do that. Enter Hourglass. And they're like, hey, let's do something together. And then we go, well, we want to do a belly flop contest.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
So, okay, let's talk belly flops for a second, right?
Yeah.
Because there is in my opinion, perfect way to belly flop, and if you don't do this, then I feel like you should be deducted points or whatever.
Has everybody in here ever tried to do a belly flop on purpose? I'm not saying
Yeah.
you've had a belly
Yes.
flop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It can
When I
be
was a
harder.
kid.
To me, it can
Exactly.
be harder because like sometimes your brain wants to like
think
talk
too
you
much,
out of it.
or you
Yeah.
think
So
too
your
much.
body geometry gets weird.
That's what I was going to talk about, because a true belly flop, you cannot hesitate
No.
at all, or
You can't pull it.
You can't retract.
Yeah.
You can't pull your arms
No.
back. You can't like scrunch up
No.
because
You
that's
need a lot
part.
of surface area.
That's part of like
Part of the flop.
competition, part of the flop, part of what makes it a good flop. You have to be 100% committed, and in my opinion, straight out. With, like,
Absolutely.
you know,
Starfish style.
I like starfish
Yeah.
style.
Don't
Like,
say starfish
you can't.
style.
You're right,
Don't say
because
that.
you
Don't say
can't
that.
belly flop in a dive position. That you need as much surface area as possible. Also, Skinny guys can't belly flop.
Really?
Wow.
And in my opinion, in a
Put that on a bumper sticker.
as a true flopman, Jordan, what say you?
Yeah, Thomas, you bring up a very good point of like
Thank you,
floppage to
sir.
smackage. So bigger guys or pregnant women who we do not recommend do this.
That's a double, please. when they do
Doctor's
that.
orders.
Is it
Your-
the lady or
your-
the baby flop?
You can probably do it. It's not that bad.
Your belly, your small surface area of the belly will hit the pool first.
Who said baby flop
less
contest?
than
That's a great idea. Tom and Dan's baby flop contest where you got to be pregnant women. And it's,
Sorry.
Oh my god!
Sorry.
Genius! You're a genius.
And so there's less smackage sound. So I actually think skinny guys, but we're judging this contest more on just the flatness of it. It's showmanship, costumes, entrances. Yeah, so
Entrances.
many
See, I
different
was wondering how
things.
you're going to judge it with
Yeah.
like by sound because you can get a good slap.
That's
by
true.
Yeah.
splash.
There's
how
gonna
high the
be
splash
like
is.
commitment.
Splash factor. too.
Sound, splash, costume, showmanship. We have 3 celebrity judges, Brendan from Bungalower.
Nice.
Oh,
Love that
Brendan.
guy.
Yep,
Love him.
Kyle Smith from Orlando City.
Hey, that's
No
a
big
good
deal.
grab.
City.
And then our friend Ann.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll
so
go- I like Ann.
famous soccer player, famous partier, and Ann.
Yeah, and then but
like that.
Brendan's going to be judging in the pool as his merman.
amazing.
drag
Merman's
queen.
gonna be there. Boy, that's a
Yeah.
draw. That's a
It's
draw in
really
itself.
exciting.
I've never been able to
Hold
see
on,
him.
Merman's gonna be. Me and
Merman's
Daniel have
gonna be
been
there.
waiting to see Merman
know.
for
You better
years.
go to the
Yeah.
belly flop.
You gotta
contest.
go.
Ever since we started going before the
Stonewall Bar.
Yeah.
Stonewall Bar. We would go to Stonewall and we would sit there and get drunk before we had to do Orlando City announcements.
Yeah.
And never been able to catch a merman in the wild.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
We talk every single time we talk about
in fact,
Merman.
I've always said, I'll get drunk. I'll say, I'm going to be the littlest merman.
we did a hot dog eating contest in October. We had about 1,000 people show up
Jesus.
to the small GB's bottle shop in Virginia, and the paramedics refused to come. Like, not even.
Oh, I thought they were going to refuse to revive
we,
somebody.
We were calling, and Brendan was the MC, but we also had a magician. And my favorite line that Brendan gave was, "We don't have a paramedic, but we have a magician."
There you go.
And the magician pulled a trick on us. He's supposed to do his show while we set up, and then he disappeared and didn't do a show. So he took our money, didn't do the show.
I love it.
Made your money disappear.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I thought of another key belly flop
Yeah, what do you got?
position. So I like it.
Can you backflop?
Nah, well,
I don't think you can.
You got to be pretty agile, I would imagine.
it would hurt
Judges,
more.
judges' rule will be depending on the costume you can backflop. So if you're like, if you have like a rated X costume that might show like you're happy to belly flop,
Gotcha.
like then a backflop is appropriate.
All
Yeah,
right.
okay. Wow, this is a spicy contest. I mean, George's prepared for everything. He's like, if we do have a man on site with a boner, he can backflop. This is fine. I'm prepared.
Well, I mean, you break the surface area first. So you
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, it would break the tension of the
Oh,
water.
yeah.
Yeah, it would break
I thought
the
Bill was going to
meniscus.
be like, no, there's going to be no men with giant erections.
No, I just meant
you
to
can
make
bring your
sense.
And that's
kids.
a pill guarantee.
I promise.
Well, there is a guarantee that a guy already sent us a photo. He has a penis costume.
All right.
Oh, belly flopping penis guarantee.
Yeah.
My boys need to see this. Like, that's
so,
basic
too.
anatomy.
Yeah, get him a cholo dog, a
Don't be
penis
afraid.
belly flopping.
Yeah,
That's a good Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
So here's what I like when you do the flop setup. I don't like the just lean over. What I in the belly flop world they call
That's
it the phone,
lazy.
the tree.
That's lazy.
The cut down tree where you just like
So lazy.
I like it when the person jumps in the air. Gets
And holds.
parallel, then
Projectile.
starfish.
Yeah.
Boom, belly flop.
Starfish, hold, and then I like it when you can see him kind of hover for like 1/2 of a
High
percent.
gravity
Like,
yeah,
that
yeah.
moment.
And Smackdown.
Yeah.
And then when going into the water with like complete surface area, smack, like you said, belly first,
Yeah.
but then it's literally parallel to the water.
Like in the
Best
cartoons,
flop.
where when in the cartoons back, I watched a lot of old racist cartoons where the Bugs Bunny would jump, and then when he would land,
Wait, Bugs
he would-
Bunny's racist
He would,
now?
oh yeah, all of them are, and he would land flat, and it would be like it was concrete,
Yeah.
and then and then he'd
That's
fall.
it,
yeah.
Then he'd fall.
Slowly.
Right.
Like holding your junk and like, oh crap, it hurt, and like you're just like there, like pause. You're like, I don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah, you got it. You can't. I don't.
That
think
was
you
a
can-
homeless man that wandered in. We just leave the door open.
Hi, Brett.
There will be a platform, so there'll be like.
Yeah, people are trying to. They're in the chat. They're
Envision
asking the
it.
logistics of how this is going to
Yeah.
happen.
So there is. We have a pool that's being built. in the parking lot. And
You're
then
building it?
We're building a pool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of work.
That's the way you got to do it. We got a guy.
They're doing it big.
We know people.
We're not building it. We're giving money to someone to build it. And then there's going to be a stage that's risen just a little bit above it, a few feet above it, and that's going to be the belly flop platform that you can smack into. The cool thing, too, is that before the belly flop contest starts, the belly flop contest is going to start at 4. The event starts at 2. From 2 to 4, it's an open pool, and you can bring floats and hang out, Floatopia. Don't pee in the pool.
Please.
You will be removed forcibly by Franco.
People listen to that. I don't know if you
we're putting the special. We are
That's
putting
fine.
the special.
We go to
dive.
Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, what do you think's happening at Typhoon Lagoon? There's
don't
1,000 Brazilians.
You don't want to know.
They're having diarrhea because they're eating American S food.
And everybody's holding.
They're used to their rice and their beans and their clean
healthy
eating, and they get here and they eat a gray hot dog
Yeah,
and it's
Typhoon
over.
Lagoon.
Yeah. And they're holding a
and they're
64-ounce Diet Coke.
Yeah, they've gone to Costco. And it's over.
Yeah. So
This is gonna
everybody's
get
fine.
canceled. Someone's gonna shit in the pool.
Oh, Jordan, it's on the radio.
Plant that seed. Don't you
Oh,
plant
we're
that
not.
seed.
Yeah.
No, but if somebody does that, I feel like you still got to flop. Still got to flop.
Poop
Can't be
out
afraid of
pool.
your
The stakes
face
are
either.
higher.
Yeah,
So
they really are.
back to flopping. There in me and Daniel are very familiar with bikini competitions. I don't know if you guys have heard.
What's that?
And
We know our way around
Explain
them.
that to me in detail.
I feel like we did so many bikini contests that we are now like cowboys at the end of Young Guns 2, where we're starting to see cars drive around, and it's blowing our minds because our whole entire generation is being stomped out by like the future, right?
And in the world of bikini competitions, there is what we like to call the ringer.
Yeah.
And it's not what you think.
It's not what you think. Well, it can go both ways. You can either have the really, really super hot, mega tight girl that comes out and you didn't even know she was there, and you're like, oh my God, look at this fitness model. But that's not going to be as good as
Me in a bikini.
novel. He knows. Jordan's a pro.
It's
Perfect.
basically
He's a pro.
someone with Jordan's build in a bikini.
Barrel-chested, burly.
And then when they come
Baseball
out,
style.
the crowd goes crazy. And then we've seen this happen.
Yeah,
we've
they win.
hosted, and then they win.
And they will take the prize from the model. That's like literally a 10 or an 11, and they will take the $10,000 and gift it to the guy who literally
the DJ's sister.
Yeah.
got wasted.
We've seen it. We've seen it.
And just in a brawl and panties.
Yeah, brawl and panties. We've seen it.
And then there's like Hawaiian Tropic Girl, the ring.
Oh,
like
they're
all
mad.
They're circuit girls, and
Very
they're mad because
they were budgeting that for the down payment on their M3.
the drunk DJ sister. Now this exists in the belly flop world as well.
Yes, it does.
And in the belly flop world, it's usually the biggest person that enters the competition, and I'm talking big.
Oh, yeah.
Like the biggest person that
Well, they
can,
fall jump.
Yeah, and
have to fall jump.
and that's a crowd favorite. And if you are,
It looks
just
painful for them to fall.
and they
in
don't
the
even
water.
have to have that good of style.
The form
because
doesn't matter. It's the size.
Yeah, because
At that point, it's quantity.
the crowd
Exactly.
goes crazy just for the person's size. It's the equivalent to like
Yeah.
if you're Manute Bowles'
It's
height.
like, okay,
and
it's
you,
like the
you dunk
NBA
a ball.
dunk,
People are like,
yeah.
oh,
NBA dunk competition. If I jump out there and jump and dunk, everybody goes crazy because they're like, oh, look at him, fish out of water.
I think that it's if this was a flat and basic belly flop contest, like just belly flopping, then yes, that ringer would win. But because costuming and showmanship,
important.
like I've been told there's
That's
a guy
true.
dressing up as Macho Man.
Oh,
because there's a
great.
character
Yeah.
element. of
There's
it.
a whole element to it. We're gonna
Oh man.
yeah.
This is gonna be great.
All right, now let's plug it again.
the platform. Oh, yeah.
When does everything start?
So July 3rd at Hourglass Brewing in Longwood.
Sunday.
Sunday. Starts at 2 p.m. The event starts at 2. The brewery opens at 12.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, so it's
nice.
open there. The event starts at 2 o'clock, and the event, we got Cholo dogs. Obviously, you're going to have some hot dogs. Black Magic Pizza will be there.
Oh my God.
And so will Chillin' Tacos. I don't know if you guys have had them. They make these little chocolate tacos. They're amazing. So those three are going to be there serving some food.
Just ice cream.
We're going to have Franco's Flop. It's a brand new beer coming out. So you'll be able to get your hands on that can.
Fantastic.
You'll have the pool that's going to be open. And, the floppage starts at 4.
Awesome. Now, before we leave, I'll tell you a little backstory.
What do you win if you win the belly flop?
Oh, good
Oh,
question.
good question.
Wow.
So
Are you going to enter?
Maybe. I got to go to
You don't have a belly.
cholodogs.com/events to sign up to be a flopper.
do not
That's
have
why
belly.
you're a pro.
Thank you.
There's no belly over there, though, so you ain't going to be flopping nothing.
Some will flop.
I wasn't going to say
That's a
it.
different one. That's a different. I'm writing that
Different
down.
contest. Different contest.
I don't know
We
if
can
they
get
got
some
a parking
people
lot
out
Side
big
chicks
enough.
are already planning that.
Daniel
the
Dennis to
T-flops.
HR.
Yeah, I mean, that will honestly be the...
I mean, if we do a T-flop competition, I mean,
Hourglass
you guys
better
can
start
s-
brewing
we'll sell
beer now.
yeah.
You guys will sell out so much beer.
You're gonna win July 15th. SmackDown's coming to Orlando. You're gonna win SmackDown
Oh,
tickets.
wow.
Oh, dude, that's a great
That's
prize.
Yeah,
We
and
should've
then,
opened with that.
There's some beer and some hot dog merch, and then we are going to be building a one-of-a-kind trophy.
So you get a trophy, you get beer, you get
you
hot
get hot
dogs, and
dogs
you
and
get
you get
SmackDown
SmackDown
tickets.
tickets.
That's pretty good.
That's damn good.
But now is Tom and Dan going to sponsor a contestant?
Well,
Izzy. We got to get Izzy
yeah,
out there.
I feel like this is the perfect. I mean,
He's Chungus Glorioso.
Speaking of
When you
ringers.
enter the contest, you'll get, what is it, 2 free beers?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 free beers. You get a T-shirt. You get 2 free hot dogs.
Yes, Izzy, you have to represent
Yeah.
Tom and Dan.
He's
Yeah,
our guy.
$25.
Because he's
Do
a
it.
gamer and he's fun and
Yeah.
everybody likes him. He's fun to be around.
Cool.
Yeah, if you
He's nimble too.
Yeah, and honestly,
But he's large. He's a big dude, but he's super fast.
you'll be a crowd favorite. There'll be
Yeah.
a lot of Tom and Dan BDMs in the crowd, and they'll cheer for
What costume,
Chungus
though?
Glorioso.
We're going to make him Chungus Glorioso?
Yeah, well, we're
This is going to be the trophy.
Do we have this?
Yeah, sure. That's
What is this?
Some listeners sent us to it. It's two-man
yeah.
wrestling, and it's actually...
They're not wrestling.
Yeah,
man.
no,
They're wrestling.
that's actually...
That's Olympic wrestling.
That's a very
yeah.
famous...
I
There's
think
a
it was
card
supposed
that
to be
goes
this
with
way.
it. You can read it.
Oh,
What-
you-
But
was
he's
originally.
grabbing his hot dog.
Yeah, that's the...
every morning. That's how me
Here,
and
read
Daniel
it.
start
Go
our
ahead.
day.
Read
called,
You want to win?
No, this
man.
is very famous. He'll read it to you.
It's called Foul Play, magnificent example of an early Greek mythological gods, Hercules and Diomede, engaged, I think I said that right, in
play it.
classic struggle for dominance. Fine anatomical sculpture is example of pre-rodent expressiveness and form.
Yeah, that's the way they used to wrestle. When the gods used to wrestle, they only wrestle with their penises. Yeah, that's why when Tom and I wrestle with our penises, we call ourselves gods.
So
You're such a god
But
right now.
that's what you win, and you get you'll just get all the glory of being the Bellyflop champion. We're gonna try to make this an annual event.
I love it.
this is awesome. Now, I will tell you that at one point in time, this is 100% true. For a Predators halftime show, I was going to attempt to break the Guinness Book World Record for highest belly flop, right? So, Daniel, look this video up because I'll show you the video. And I think the guy still holds it or whatever. But Brett Bushy was going to pay for Guinness to fly to the arena of football.
Like $10,000. Yeah.
And then just so and so I started doing the research, and here's what it is. So basically it's the highest belly flop
Is
into
it
the
Professor Splash?
Yes, it's the highest belly flop into the smallest body of water. So it's 1 foot of water.
Oh no.
And,
No.
and the record is like 24. What is it? 26 feet. How tall is it, Daniel? What does it say? Because I think is that 30 or 40?
It says here
I feel like-
36 feet.
36 feet
My God.
is the record. I think it was less at the time that I was going to try to break
Yeah,
it.
no, this is fairly new.
So the trick is you're allowed to in the Guinness rules. Watch this guy.
This is Professor Splash.
I feel like if you had done it, this would have been the Sam and Dan show.
So this is a belly flop.
Probably. This is an old British man.
Same guy. I was going to try to beat this guy's record.
Those old bones.
We were going to build.
Oh, they're screaming for him. They
my
love
God.
Professor Splash.
We were gonna get a way to build scaffolding fast enough during the halftime. And with me and Brett Bushy, we started
release
planning this out.
scaffolding.
And because I thought I could do it, it's got to be a foot of water. It's
a kid pool.
Like, it's a kiddie pool and a foot of
my
water.
God.
Watch them do it.
Oh,
oh my God!
There's no way.
He actually has beaten his own record just this year.
Really?
What?
He's
Dude.
60 years old
I
now.
gotta tell you,
Those
that
bones gotta be buoyant.
I was
Yeah,
ready to go
for
in on
real.
this and make fun of it.
He's wearing a flame printed leotard.
That's freaking impressive what this guy does.
You should have just stayed on the jumbotron.
Jordan, for next year, because I know this is going to be successful and be a hit.
Get
Maybe for
Professor
next
Splash.
year, we got to get this guy to open the game.
Or we revisit you trying to break his Guinness Book World Record.
Here, not Jordan.
you got to dust off the bear
asphalt.
suit.
I was in my
Are we
20s when
brainstorming
I was
right
thinking about. So
You got more weight now, bigger belly.
Here's the trick to it. It has to be a foot of water, but you're allowed to put a gymnast mat and whatever you want underneath the pool.
Oh,
Or no,
okay.
underneath the pool, right?
Yeah, I
so
see that, yeah.
So there is some cushion. Now, Here is where I backed out because Crystal, like, you have to maintain exactly what the Dr. Splash does.
Professor Splash.
Your arms back.
Me.
Or your arms back and your belly out to when you hit the water. You almost do like a worm at the wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And the water slows you down, and then the gym mat holds you. Now, if your form is off, paralyzed.
Yeah, you're breaking a rib.
Look at this guy.
You're
Look at
breaking
this
a
guy.
rib.
I froze him.
And
Or your face.
if you get scared and retract your arms and legs,
just
you
gonna
could
bounce.
break your arms and not only and break your sternum from the it's a science in the way he does. I researched this because
nuts.
You had to.
because I was like, I think I could have the fortitude to not break my stance. The problem
think
was
you could.
At 40 feet, I was worried about drifting off or whatever, and then I'll paralyze.
The wind catches you.
Or just like not doing it.
I mean, what's
exactly.
funny is like just something as simple as staying in the same spot as you're falling
Yeah,
without
that's what I'm
launching
saying.
yourself like
Too
awkwardly.
far.
Because at 30 feet, like you think you're not going to
Yeah.
move, and then all of a sudden you move head down
Head
and
first.
paralyzed. Like this.
Well, then we're gonna name the trophy the almost memorial Tom Van Bellyflop trophy.
And then also, I literally got on something that was like 35 foot tall and looked out, and no way. Like,
It
if
doesn't
you
sound that bad
if
until
you-
you're up there.
off of a more than 3-story building, you look down and you try to maintain a belly flop stance
Yeah.
for
No,
35 feet.
Not
Crazy.
gonna happen.
Guys, thanks so
Yeah,
much for
this
coming.
sounds
I
awesome,
appreciate it.
guys. Congrats on everything. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
And,
Appreciate you guys. Thank
yeah,
you.
Everybody head out there, and if they want to enter, is that something you do pre? Or
You could do
Yeah.
it pre cholodogs.com/events, like Sam had said. And then when you're there, you can do it on your phone or just kind of find one of us, and we'll get you.
We
signed
do have a
up.
limit, so there is a
Yeah.
cap.
There
Cool.
will be a cap at a certain
Beautiful.
point because we're going to do different. Like it's got to be a bracket of how this goes.
Love
So,
it. And again, the prize SmackDown, you get some hot dogs, merch. You're getting,
Beers.
they're going to take care of you.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
some beers out
I
there.
feel like the trophy alone
The
is worth
trophy,
it.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
bragging rights.
knowing
Bragging
that
rights
you will be the
alone. Yeah.
champion.
and you get to meet a merman and a future MLS All Star and our friend Ann.
I love it.
That's pretty nice.
And an
I wanna meet
all-star
Ann.
and merman.
We'll be
meet Ann.
right back with more of Corporate Time.
Tom and Dan with 12 minutes of Ozzy Osbourne.
So
For you.
You surprised me, before.
Because you love Ozzy Osbourne. I have a whole cake. It's shaped like Ozzy
There's a
Osbourne.
bat on it.
Yeah, I've got a bat cake for you and everything.
So he's still doing it.
He
Still
is.
doing it.
You were surprised. I said, I did surprise you. I said, hey, Ozzy Osbourne's got a brand new single out. And you were like, Ozzy Osbourne? You thought he was dead, didn't you?
How? Well, I thought he was close.
Oh, he's always been close since the
I know.
Osbournes were on the air.
Yeah, like since '99.
Old,
When was that?
Old rock stars always take a dip 10 years before they really die. They take a dip and get bad, and then they right back on stem cells. Crazy. They give them the stem
like
cells.
25 years ago. I thought he
20
was
years
done.
ago,
Oh, he's doing a tour next year.
yeah, 20 years
Is
ago.
he gonna make it?
We thought he was dead 20 years ago when he was in the Osbournes. That was 20 years ago, right?
He was a bumbling, shaky
Yeah.
old man.
Now
Where
Ozzy Osbourne's got a baby.
Daniel showed me that when he pays at the self checkout, with Andrea, he does
Oh,
the
I
shaky credit card.
Do you know my trick?
no.
I'm gonna do it. You know what? It's gonna make Sam so mad because she'll be forced to go along with it. So what I do is I'll get my wallet out. I did it for Tom. So what I do is I take out my Truist card, and then if I'm using, I'll take this thing off so I can really do it. So if I'm using the self checkout, I'll take my credit card out like an old man or like I have a problem, and I'll take my credit card out of my wallet, and then when I go to stick it in, I can't do it. I'm like,
No.
and I do it for way too long. And man, Tom was sitting. Tom's like, "Oh God!" And I'm making him uncomfortable. And I'm like, "I just gave him a taste.
Yeah,
I just
I
gave him a
was
little,
slapping it.
Yeah, I just gave
But
you a-
then I'm an abuser.
yeah, I just gave you a little taste of it. But when I do it with Sam, I'm gonna do it for a full minute.
I'll walk
So
out.
I know you will.
he was full shaky old man 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and now he's
Yeah.
still singing.
Yeah, here's his newest single. It's called "Patient," #9, featuring Jeff Beck. Now we
What does that mean,
Oh,
patient
we
number 9?
previewed a little bit of this. There's a lot of like old man laughing.
Did someone give him a bunch of Botox? He turned into a woman lion.
That's a lot of Photoshop.
He does
right
look
there.
like
Okay.
a woman lion, a female lion.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
If you're into old rock stars,
He
get
looks like
Botox.
Avril Lavigne's grandma. in that-
Have you seen her
Grandma
lately?
Levine.
She looks like Grandma Lavigne.
I
When they
hate
start
long,
singing.
spooky intros.
Okay, let me ask you a
Get to the
question.
song,
and I think
Ozzy.
I've talked about this before, and it's on brand. Okay, we're talking about Ozzy Osbourne. How old is he? 80?
73.
Okay, so 73. When you're 73, should you
God
have
damn.
long hair?
He's younger than I thought.
But he has to have long hair because
way younger than I thought.
Because he's Ozzy
Yeah.
Osbourne, he has to have long hair. Like, he can't get your
Hold
haircut
on.
and still be Ozzy Osbourne, right?
Was he in his late 50s in the
Yes.
in that show?
Yes,
My God,
he was in his 50s. I'm 4 years away from being Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, when we watched him on.
Yeah, but
like
I'm
crazy.
telling you, he was just, he's on an uptick now.
What is
the
it?
family also has another show on TV.
Yeah, they have a travel show.
It's called The Osbournes Want to Believe.
Oh no, that's the
Never
one where
heard
they
of
do
that one.
skeptic stuff. You know,
Yeah.
everybody they go through. They do the first thing that you do is like just our madcap adventures living in our house. The second one you do is always travel show, and the third one you do is like, oh, is there a god? Is there a ghost? And then you do that.
Well,
and
he
then
did
you're
the
done.
rehab
Then you
one,
do the
or-
Hogan knows best, and you're cheat on your wife, big fat thermos.
How old is Jack Osbourne? He's got to be.
He's got a kid now.
in
He's
his
got to be
30s, right?
34.
It's got to be older than me. I feel
34.
like.
30.
36, same age.
36. How old is Kelly Osbourne? 31.
She was younger.
She was
Yeah,
younger.
okay.
Slightly younger.
She's the more successful one, right? Like Jack had the pain pill problem, right?
Yeah, but
Actually, wow, she's 1 year older. I did not know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Jack also had. He also has. Doesn't he have
He's got-
MS?
yeah, I
I
believe
think he has
that's
MS.
correct.
But here, let's see if he sings.
All right.
Okay. I want to go
Sorry.
home. He laughing. Mommy. Told you, it's going to be great. The production will be great. Because he's got all young people doing all the heavy lifting, and all you have to do is wheel him in there to go, time is here! See?
Guide you to your hell.
That's good,
Now
Sam.
you do a good
Thank you.
Ozzy.
Thank you.
Sammy Osbourne
yeah.
over here.
Yeah, you need to be a woman to do a good Ozzy. I think you know.
Yeah, I
it's
think
like
you
Bart
do.
Simpson's voice. It has to be a woman.
Yeah, wheel Nancy Cartwright out there. It's fine.
I hate low.
He's just talking about how he's slowly going insane.
Yeah.
He's been talking about slowly going insane for his entire career, right? Isn't that a lot of rock music is the guy telling you, I'm crazy and edgy and I like the bats. Right? That's
yeah,
right.
You're a shaky old
Yeah,
man.
You don't do nothing. You eat a hamburger Shoney's just like my grandpa. He's got an American flag toothpick at the top of it. You eat the tater tots, you get diarrhea.
You're a senile old man, and we all saw it. We saw it in the reality
Yeah,
show.
and you got to be worse now. There's no way I believe you're better now than you were in the show.
The only thing that redeems him is the fact that he cheated on his wife.
Okay, let's dig
that
into that
actually
for a second.
makes his music better.
I liked him better when I found
'Cause
out
I
that he
thought-
cheated on Sharon Osbourne. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, because
yes.
I was like, I thought she just took you
With
around
his
everywhere like a
hairdresser.
nurse. Yeah.
And you know what? If you're
He's
gonna
got
cheat,
good hair.
if you're gonna cheat with a hairdresser, because I feel like I'm gonna give hairdressers a compliment, and this is not gonna be popular. Don't at me. Don't do nothing. Hairdressers F. Across the board,
Yeah,
blanket
yeah.
statement.
Yeah.
If you're a barber or if you're a lady who dresses hair, you're a colorist.
Best
you,
effing job.
they know how to have sex.
Yeah. Hairdresser, you're right, 100%. More than stripper.
I agree.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll tell you another one.
Stripper's worse in bed
Too
than a
much
hairdresser.
dysfunction.
Yeah,
Too much dysfunction.
yeah.
Daddy touched you is bad.
Yeah.
Hairdresser, you got a chance to come out unscathed. I'll tell you another one that falls under the category sort of like hairdresser as well. Of people I think that can go. Nurses. I think nurses can go.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not going to gross them out. You can't.
Yeah,
It's
that's
impossible.
true.
So you can
Yeah.
ask them to do some elevated stuff.
yeah, they've seen it all.
Yeah,
they've seen the
it all.
atrocities.
Yeah, so if you say like, "Hey, go move a little
No.
to the right," they're okay with it because they know anatomy.
Yeah, they're hardened by the atrocities they see every day, and that makes them better.
And it
at
made
bed.
me like him that he was. It made me like him that he cheat. Like, what does he go there to get his hair dyed silver? And and then they hit it off. And then what?
I don't know.
What do you
Like,
I think
do?
it was his hairdresser for like years.
Look it up.
He
Look it up.
slowly fall in love with her.
Well, he's
after,
going mad. He's slowly going mad based on his music, right? So,
and then probably like Sharon Osbourne.
What you doing, my head? You
Like-
hey, touch it down there.
Their relationship was like a Bill and Hillary Clinton, right?
they're
it was
like
business.
emo Bill and Hillary.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They're hot topic Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Because she was the businesswoman
She
in the
talks like this. Everything is very cat's butt mouth.
like she took over his career and the brand, and then she built her own brand.
Oh,
and,
she's
like,
a powerful lady.
So she was I thought she was just wheeling them around, like
She's always been a music manager, always been a savvy businesswoman. She's a smart cookie.
So she probably didn't stop giving it to him, right? Like,
Oh, I think she stopped. She's all business.
Yeah. She's in love with business. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why I worry about my wife with her organizational aspect. If she leans too far into that, then I don't get nothing. And then I'm Ozzy Osbourne. I'm little Ozzy Osbourne. All I'm looking for is a hairdresser with their legs open.
What do you think they went somewhere, or do you think it
That's
happened
I want to
in
know.
the?
No, it's in their house on
Or
their
on
bed.
because I'm sure he's got a trailer that
and
he has.
and he did the Gene
sets.
Simmons where you just pull your pants down, you're fully clothed, and you just lay on the bed like a double man.
So
Gene Simmons pulls his pants down, just laid on
What
the
are
bed.
the details?
the
Sam?
hairdresser claims that Ozzy first pursued her 1 year after that she first dyed his hair in 2011.
I love the way you dye my hair.
And Ozzy insists that the relationship was purely sexual, stemming from his sex addiction. Of course, all these men have sex addictions.
Yeah.
But the hairdresser Michelle says she's adamant that their time together was much more than that. So he was saying it was all sex, and she was like, "No, we had like a real relationship."
He gave her a bat ring.
But to have a sex addiction,
He gave her an amulet.
you have to have high testosterone, which I imagine, unless he's taking some sort of testosterone therapy.
Well, look at
he's
him.
got
He's taking
an old
estrogen
man.
pills.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's an old, feeble old man.
He looks
Your
like Fred
testosterone.
Armisen on Portlandia.
Like, how are you even able to get one going? Will be a feeble old man.
He can't get one going.
well, he
No way.
said he had a sex addiction.
No.
That-
Well, I mean, you can still be
It's just
addicted
an
to
excuse.
it. You know, you can still be addicted to crack, but can't use a lighter. Right? I mean, that's the thing.
but to have the want for it, don't you need like the basic testosterone chemical?
I think the base level of testosterone will make you want it, but maybe you just can't perform. Like, I
Okay,
want to do a
okay.
backflip.
okay, yeah,
You
all
following
right.
me? You following
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah. Just, you can't. You have to get on a high platform, going around slow.
My rotation is bad.
Yeah. Then you land in the water, but it's more of a flop.
Yeah, it's more of a flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you, he went, he did the pants down, and, it's embarrassing, and it's sad. It's embarrassing because you're wearing a lot of long scarves, a lot of black.
And
No shorts. You're not wearing shorts. You're not wearing pajama pants.
baggy underwear.
Yeah, old men have, because their
Yeah.
ass shrinks.
Yeah.
Like old men, when you start to lose muscle tone, you start to lose. I'm having this happen right now where I have a lot of room in my jockey shorts.
So
I have a lot of room in my jogging shorts because my
Deflated
ass
ass.
is deflated, and now I'm starting to get a skeleton bottom.
I guess Sharon revealed in an interview that he was actually having an affair with 6 different people. At
You know
the
what? I
time.
like
Wow.
him though.
Yeah, and so he said some Russian teenager.
Whoa, hold on a
That's
second.
what Sharon
Lord.
says.
Jeez.
Then a masseuse in England, and then our masseuse in the U.S. and our cook. He was banging
Oh,
everybody.
the
Cook, the masseuse, the hairdresser.
Why are they
Cook.
doing
Oh
it?
my
Because they're
God.
around, right?
Not
I
the
mean,
Yeah, but
Cook.
don't they find him?
He's got his hands in her linguine.
Aren't they? I imagine they're younger than he is. Like, don't they look at him like an old man? Because, like I'm saying, like
Well,
when he
it might
did
not
his-
matter. They might just because it's Ozzy, you know.
No, that's gross. I mean,
I don't disagree.
I mean,
Yeah.
name a lady component to Ozzy. Give me a female version of Ozzy for me.
Okay, who's that?
Lita Ford.
Yeah, okay.
Old Lita Ford. How old's Lita? No, she's not as old
She's
as
not as old.
Ozzy.
Yeah,
She
we
actually
need-
looks pretty good. I
We
think-
need like a
yeah,
Dolly
like a
Parton
hag.
is not.
No, she's great. You need a hag.
Yeah. Who's the biggest?
Who's the
tugboat
oldest?
hag?
Who's the biggest, oldest grunge hag? We need an old.
Well, the problem is the
garp-faced carp.
the industry back then wouldn't let anybody who looked ugly perform on
Yeah.
stage in the
That's
70s,
true.
right?
Ask
so
the
they
band
all
Screaming Trees. The
they all-
band Screaming Trees. The reason they did not make it in the Seattle band heyday was because they were big and ugly.
I feel like Billie Eilish in her 70s is going to be haggy.
You
Possibly. Maybe.
Maybe. She has, yeah.
Yeah, just because she
could
doesn't
go-
care.
She could go moo-moo.
She seems like she may not care. Like, she's not going to start doing
She might
plastic
do a
surgery.
Sinead
You know,
O'Connor, shave her head.
like women were forced to keep up with. A lot of them did the plastic surgery and all the Botox just to keep their job relevant, right?
Courtney
Still
Love.
doing it.
No,
Madonna.
I know.
Somebody said Courtney Love or Madonna even.
Oh, Courtney Love is pretty good because she is
What about
haggy.
Annie Lennox?
You know, I'm a huge fan of her
She's
music.
not unattractive.
I'm also a huge fan of her music, so it would almost be an honor because I
But
think
she is
she's
67. I'm just
But
trying to find older.
Yeah, Annie. Yeah, absolutely Annie, because I'm just a huge fan.
All right,
She's a genius.
What's the lady from?
For sure, Patti Smith. I love Patti Smith,
I
but
do
she
too.
is a ghoul.
But I would lay with her because of the reputation of Patti Smith.
So okay, so you do this.
Yes,
Although,
I would fall for it. Like if you give me you give me Janis Joplin, I'm there all day long because it's Janis Joplin.
We don't know what she turned into, unfortunately.
I think
but,
we have an idea though.
But
of where
Patti
it was
Smith's
going.
still hanging on, and she
Yeah.
looks very much like Ozzy.
Patti
Hold on.
Smith, Iggy Pop, never
Is
seen
it-
them in the same room.
Iggy Pop's a birdman. Have you seen those videos with him talking to his bird? Oh,
he's a birdman?
Well, he's a crazy old man.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Are they still married, Sharon and
They got
Ozzy?
remarried, or
Oh,
they
yeah.
renewed their vows or whatever,
Yeah.
like a year later.
That's what you do when you cheat with 6 people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eventually do that.
That's some business thing for
Yeah.
Sharon, right?
Yeah.
Like it's easier for business to keep it all together, or because you break it up. They're both their names.
Are you
on
really
it.
hurt?
What?
You knew.
Oh, well, I'm sure they
She
stopped.
knew- she's
yeah.
not an. That's the thing that people are like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad for
She
her."
probably
And I-
knew,
And I
and
go,
then,
and I'll
you
say
know.
this
I
too.
feel bad for the women he cheated with.
I feel bad for the entire family, right? Because it's not a good scenario.
Well,
I feel
Sharon's
bad.
kind of a
Right.
bitch.
Well, she's direct.
She's
I'll
like,
say.
none of these women were show ponies. It's like, goddamn.
Well,
I
she's
would say
mad,
things like that,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Well, then
yeah.
say that about your husband. Don't say it about the women.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
say
yeah.
I would attack them, not my wife.
although-
I would attack all of the men I've slept with, not Andrea.
They did know that Ozzy Osbourne was with Sharon Osbourne. It's not like they didn't.
That's true.
You
Right.
know, so it's kind of like,
But she's married to him.
100%.
That's-
No, it's on him 100%.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they
I
did.
think we've qualified for our 12 minutes of Ozzy, everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that is
12
a-
minutes of Ozzy.
yeah.
I'm sorry, we have to cut you off there, sir.
Yeah.
Music is
Maybe next
horrible.
week.
Yeah, tune in next week. We're gonna do 14 minutes of Neil Diamond.
Low tempo Halloween music is what he's making. It's horrible. Bye. Welcome back to a corporate time. Let's do some email.
Yes, sir. Emails are letters that are digital. No,
Electronic mail.
Yeah, electronic mail. You can write us an electronic letter if you would like. Just write down this. Write this down on a pad of paper with a pencil. show@tomanddan.com. That's how you can send us an email, much like this one that Samantha is about to read.
All right. It says, what's the simplest dish you've goofed up? Hola T&D crew. It seems I'm having trouble making garlic bread due to overcomplicating the recipe by using fancy bread.
Hold on a second. You can't make garlic bread. Well, before you give a
Yeah.
recipe, Tom Van, the person that cooks the least on the show, but I see in your eyes that sometimes you want to learn. How would you go about making garlic bread, Tom?
Well, I've seen my wife make Florida trash garlic bread.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
And this is one slice of white bread.
Yes.
With garlic powder sprinkled on it.
Yes.
And maybe some Parmesan cheese
Or some butter.
crumbles,
Put some butter on
sprinkled on it, and you just bake that.
No butter?
I was going to say, you got to
It's
butter.
dry.
even
You just
know.
throw garlic, old powder on a bread. That's horrible. You put the
Dude, you
I've
got
never
to put
actually-
butter.
Maybe she does put butter. I don't know. I
You
never
just
watched
think
her
she
do
takes
it.
a piece of Wonder Bread and
That's
sprinkles
what it tastes like.
powder on it?
Yeah.
Yuck. Oh my
It
god!
tastes
That's
like
dry as
powder
the
Crumble
bread.
cheese.
My
It
god!
doesn't taste good. I'm like, this is not the stuff at Anthony's. Or
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I want a big fat knot. Sorry.
Where are you guys on the? Where are you guys with garlic bread? Because I like
love it. I just don't eat it a lot.
garlic knots. I love garlic sticks, like your Olive Garden. Those are hit or miss
Yeah.
for me. Sometimes they're dry.
Sticks might be my fave.
Really, I'm a knot man. I'm like Tom.
I'm a knot man.
I'm a knot man.
I like when the garlic and the butter is all over the knot, so much so that it's like
A greasy ball of bread.
Yes, a
Yeah.
greasy ball of garlic bread.
I like that too. I also
chunks of
like the garlic bread my dad used to buy, which was in a plastic tube or a plastic cellophane.
loaf?
Yeah, the loaf.
Yeah, I don't like
and
the
he
loaf.
would pull the loaf out,
much.
and you stick
Too
it.
crunchy.
You stick it in there, and then but the inside gets that yummy, buttery, garlicky, salty, gooey smush mush. I don't know what that is.
What
but
about like the Texas toast slices? The
I'm
big
okay
thick
with
boys?
that. I'm okay with that, but I feel like that I enjoyed that more when it was reserved for places like Porky's Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we can do it at home, it kind of like, it's not as good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a treat.
Yeah, I like it as a treat.
Yeah, when you're eating a baseball-sized knot of bread, like after you finish eating it, you're like, well, that was a poor choice.
Yeah. Continue, Sam.
All
This
right,
guy's trying
so
to make
it
his own garlic bread. He can't do it.
It seems like I'm overcomplicating the recipe by using fancy bread, making garlic butter spread my biggest issue, and of course not checking on the dish before the timer, thus overcooking a strong garlic-tasting bread.
Was he making he's making like a compound butter with garlic and some salt.
I would assume so.
Some chives or some, not chives, some, what do you call it, parsley in there, and you mix it up and you kind of make a spread out of it, and you spread that. Well, you're just putting too much garlic. Don't put as much garlic. You don't need a ton. Put 2 cloves in there. Call it a day.
Dice it up, melt some butter.
Yeah, you don't need to make like 8. Some people over season everything. Well, you can under season things, but also
maybe some thyme.
And also garlic. Sometimes you could toast your bread and then put your garlic spread on there like at the very last second if you don't want to make simple bitter.
And you gotta check it, man. You gotta check that bread. Don't burn it.
You gotta be on top.
He says, I was just wondering if y'all goofed making any simple dishes. Also wondering if you got a simple dish recipe to make for the picnic season.
The potato salad recipes that I've asked for are starting to roll in. I can't make potato salad, and I've got 2 that listeners have sent me that I'm gonna pony up and try. But yeah, I goof. I've never successfully made potato salad, and potatoes are hard for me. Also, baking potatoes. Because he asked for something simple. Many times I have tried to do a baking potato, and I always cheap out and try to like microwave it, or you can't. You just, if you're gonna do it, you put it in the oven and you bake the potato for like, I don't know, like 9 hours or whatever you do.
Don't you boil it first?
You can.
Is
I
that
guess.
cheating?
No,
I've never done that.
I think you can boil them ahead of time, or you can microwave them. Like some people microwave them for 3 minutes and then they finish them in the oven, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Some
people air fry them.
I like to put them in the oven. I think you put it in the oven for like a full hour and 15 minutes, and then you take it out, and it is a perfect potato. But I've ruined it more than I've made it good.
Not to switch topics, but the guy mentioned summer barbecue, and there was this.
Are you having one?
No.
Are you inviting Sam?
Well, he said picnic, but I understand what you're saying.
Or picnic.
Picnics are for girls.
Let me ask you this. So, in both the campsites that we were at on our RV trip or whatever, in multiple areas, and this was just like in one area. So, like the first, like we went to Jackson Hole Springs, and around the trash can was a broken watermelon, as if someone smashed it. Like over the trash can, and all the pieces fell.
Gallagher campers.
Yeah, and then so I thought, oh, someone dropped their watermelon and then just like kicked it over to the trash can.
That's what I would do.
And I was like, that's I wonder why they didn't just throw it in or whatever. Then there's flies, like big black doo-doo flies all over the watermelon, right?
I hate them. They're heavy too when they land on you. It's like 3 pounds.
Then we saw it again in the same park at a different trash can, and
same watermelon?
No, a different watermelon, different. And then in Jenny Springs, another
That's
multiple
called a vodka melon.
So then we were thinking that.
Yeah.
But also, I was thinking, is it a fly deterrent that people that live around big doo-doo flies, they
go crack a watermelon. We got too many flies at the table.
I don't know, man. That's a good idea, though.
Because the entire watermelon was covered in flies.
I see where you're going with that.
And is it like, do they break watermelons near the trash can so that the flies are not? Because
I have never heard of that.
Me neither. But it was in so many different places. I was like,
you thought it was a thing.
Then I thought it was a thing.
Interesting.
Has
That's
anybody
one of
heard
the
of that?
best confusing things you've witnessed.
Because
I have never heard of that.
I have not either.
It was odd that 3 or 4 different trash cans had broken watermelons around them and flies. That's more than a coincidence, right? Or are people just breaking watermelons?
It's going to be on the next You Heard About This one.
I mean, are they easy to break? Have you ever dropped a watermelon and had it split? I never have. I don't buy a lot of watermelons, though.
I mean, you could stomp one pretty. I mean, because if you're using it as a fly deterrent, it's cheap, right? Like you buy one for $1 at the roadside
they're more
stand.
than $1.
I was gonna say, when's the last time you bought a
you
watermelon,
better
man?
check
Those
you-
prices
man,
are
oh my
up.
God, we got Donald Trump over here. No concept of purchasing things because the staff buys all his watermelon.
I have no
you
idea.
have no idea what a watermelon costs.
I thought
it's
they were
not
like,
$1. I'll tell you that.
$1? You know how big those things are?
God damn, you got
What,
dollar.
inflation?
You're doing dollar watermelon.
I got like a side of the road watermelon. How much are those cost?
I started putting stickers on gas
$5?
pumps of Tom pointing at the price of watermelon. Says I did this. But it's you pointing at the watermelon price.
Well, how much do watermelons go for?
I think they're.
You guys don't know either.
I do know. It's $5. At least
$5 a melon.
$4.99 a melon. At least. So that's a
For a
bargain.
big boy melon?
For a big boy.
Oh, big boy. Well, what's a
Couple of Sam Hars. That's those are $4 all day long.
Well, what about a small to medium melon?
Well, I don't eat small melons.
Hold on.
I don't, because I think watermelons have gotten smaller over time.
$5 per watermelon?
I think so.
I thought they were cheaper than that.
Oh, the chat room is saying I'm wrong, saying it's $8. That's Norm. That's your best friend Norm saying it's $8.
$8 a watermelon?
For a medium-sized watermelon, not even a big boy, not even a thick.
That's great. Watermelon prices.
Well, you're the one that said $1. You have no concept. You're just hemorrhaging watermelon money.
Well, I know at Walmart they're $5, so Publix is probably going to be 7 or 8.
Yeah. Wow, we nailed it. Thank you, Norm.
What about
Tom owes you an apology.
I guess roadside stand.
I don't eat roadside watermelon.
They're going to be even probably more.
You got to go to Morganic.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Get
Morganic.
that quality melon.
That's a lot of money for what you get, right? Like $8.
I don't know, big melon, that'll feed a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's really nothing inside.
Yeah.
Sugar water.
Sugar water. Like
tastes delicious.
How do
though.
you guys eat it? Do you ball it? Do you eat a half moon? Do you eat a triangle? Or do you do a full slice where you eat out the center?
No, I'm triangle man.
Oh, you're triangle man.
Yeah,
How do you eat your watermelon?
It depends, but
I like a half moon where I can put it in front of my face like it's nature's
I'm either cubing
smile.
it up or it's a triangle.
My mom used to have a melon baller, and she would put it in, like, I guess she didn't like the rind or thought I'd choke on it because I'm stupid. So she would ball all of it. Like, she would ball all the watermelon and put it in a big Tupperware and stick it in the fridge. And my dad and I would we'd eat it all. Just crunch it.
Do you guys eat the seeds?
Oh, I eat the seeds.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Love the seeds.
You know, Max was terrified of watermelon seeds because there's this weirdo cartoon that he watched on
I remember this
internet.
story.
Remember? And
It's just as terrifying
still
as
scared
that,
of it?
as that bow bun
now,
one.
well, now we bully him, and every time he's eating watermelon, we're like, "Don't let it grow in your belly." Well, because I was old enough to laugh.
Does
with
he get
us.
mad? Does he laugh?
No, he laughs. Because
Or does he do? I told you I don't
I'll be
believe
talking about that later in therapy.
but when he's like 3 years old, he was terrified.
No.
That because the cartoon is
But
like
we all were, right? We were all told if you swallowed a seed, like it would
Never
grow in your
heard
belly.
that.
Really?
No,
Nah,
I
I
eat
never
everything.
knew.
I'm eating my chewing gum. I'm eating seeds. No
I-
one told me anything about my
no
stomach.
one is even watching me.
My stomach is screwed
Well, it
up
was
now.
other
Maybe that's-
kids telling, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Eating a seed and then
Right.
it'll grow.
No, the
into-
only one I got was the girl that put a hot dog. You know, I got that one. I never got seeds. I never got. I never got. You can't eat your gum. I
got that.
Kids
for
would say
sure.
you can't eat your gum because it'll plug
clog
up.
up your appendix.
Well, I heard you can't eat gum because it'll form a membrane over your BH.
I didn't hear that
And you
one.
wouldn't be able to go number 2.
Man.
And I'm like, that. Even
That's
I was
weird.
smart enough to go, well, that's not true. I'd eat my gum.
I just heard it take 7 years to disintegrate in your stomach.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
None of it's true.
None of that's true. I don't even know where my stomach is on my body.
I tried to grow watermelons one time off my garden tower, and I got tiny baby watermelons.
Aw.
But
That's cute.
then
Bring 'em in.
No, well,
Give
they
them to a
died.
hamster.
Then what do you think the biggest watermelon ever grown? Because they're not getting pumpkin
The
size,
biggest watermelon ever
right?
grown.
Like weight wise, what do you think?
Wow.
I'm going to.
God, we've gone right to
I'm going to
Farmer's Almanac Radio. Thanks for calling. Hey, caller, what do you think is the largest
damn it.
watermelon ever grown? Welcome back to Trebuchet and Pumpkin Radio.
Soon that will run out.
All
of
right, I
batteries.
got it pulled up. What are we thinking
Okay.
here, boys?
Our
The Guinness Book of World
80
Records.
pounds.
I'm going to 178 pounds.
Wow, specific.
All right. Grown by Mr. Bill Carson in Arrington, Tennessee.
Okay, it's a Tennessee pumpkin. Or excuse me,
262 pounds.
Wow, 262. That's Norm. Oh my God, that's a big watermelon.
Although I don't.
What does it taste like? It's got to be stringy, right? And sour.
Yeah. It's probably some weird, watermelon that we don't normally. We probably eat
it's
the
like
same
a Peruvian watermelon,
I'd
like
say-
they do with potatoes. Peruvian potatoes are the purple ones, I guess.
The
Those are
same
great.
thing with pumpkins and like the biggest pumpkins ever. whatever. I don't like because they're so big, they're always like melt into the ground. So one side's flat and it's just a big blob.
Well, okay,
it's not formed. I want the watermelon
perfect,
like a pill shape,
Yeah.
perfect watermelon.
Like Disney does that because they put their pumpkins into boxes and they grow them into squares.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure like your wife would be like, leave that pumpkin alone. He doesn't want to be in a box, and it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't like the big blob watermelon that it's basically
flat on the
flat
bottom.
on the side because it's so big. That
I'm
it
with
can't-
you. You know, let's talk about something else that bothers me. Pumpkins. When they're really big, they get a flat side, and then you're right. They start to deteriorate and they turn into goo into the ground. But a little pumpkin, if you buy a miniature pumpkin, that MFer will last 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years, you can have it
Hard.
sitting out on your, and it's still alive. And you can leave it out 20 years. So why? I have a pumpkin that was from this October sitting in our kitchen right now. It's fine.
Because I think there's no air in the center, right? That's what you need. Although an apple will eventually rot. Why isn't the miniature pumpkin
I think the
rotting?
pumpkin's more dense, though.
That miniature pumpkin will last. I mean, we had
But
one.
it's
I swear to
still
God, it lasts 6 months.
It's organic material, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you could eat it.
No, but it has to do with the size, right? It's like little dogs live longer than big dogs. That was my theory.
That's true.
So a big pumpkin's like a Great Dane, and a little pumpkin, that's like a pee-pee dog.
Or is it just like hardening in a way where
Calcifying?
it is like it just doesn't rot? I don't know. What is it?
I don't know,
Why-
but I asked Andrea that. I was like, why is the big pumpkin we have, that one, you put it outside for 2 days, it turns into mush, it liquefies. A little pumpkin, you put that one outside, it can stay out there for a year and a half. All
Yeah.
good. No big deal.
Heat doesn't bother, nothing
it,
bothers
Use
it.
it for 2 Halloweens.
How long will it last?
According to Google, it says on average, specialty produce cites that petite white pumpkins,
Yes.
like white gouligans and casparitas,
I got a white gooligan.
will last between 6 and 12 months
Told
given
ya.
the right storage
I got
conditions.
one. You guys, I'm not kidding. I have one in my house right now that's a year old. It is just sitting there. And Maisie,
That's nuts.
Maisie plays with it. We throw it around the house.
Will it eventually just get soft? Like what? I've never.
I would assume so.
But I've never
Never
seen.
soft.
I've never seen a rotten gooligan.
Yeah. And you'll never see a rotten gooligan.
All right, let's
You're
do
the
one
best.
more email.
All right, cult movies. Hi, show. Like Dan, I'm not much of a movie person. When I do watch movies, I almost never go back and watch them again.
Oh, I've never seen the same movie twice.
The sole exception for me, though, is The Big Lebowski, which I've seen more times than I care to admit. It's probably in my top 5 of all time, and I can never give a solid answer as to why that is. I usually wind up telling people it's just one of those movies you love and you get or you don't. Which I suppose is true for a lot of cult movies. My wife loves Rocky Horror, but I don't know why, and I don't think I'll ever understand why. Do any of you have a cult movie you love? I know Samantha is a fan of Big Lebowski. She'll slide in a Lebowski-ism every once in a while, and it always makes me happy.
I like Big Lebowski a lot. Yeah,
I have a lot of these, though.
I've seen some movies multiple times, but not many. And my favorite comedy that I've seen the most is Caddyshack, 100%.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I own it, but that's about it.
You know my affinity for Shawshank. Yeah, but also
That's not really a cult movie, though, I don't think.
I think
popular.
it is. I
Well, I think now it is. I
Um,
think, a lot of people love to quote it, and
although when I was younger, it doesn't really hold up. I was disappointed because I caught some of it the other day.
Borat.
No.
Remember when you would dress as Borat all the time? And
It's the smoking weed movie with Dave Chappelle back in the day.
Half-Baked.
Half-Baked.
I watched that like last year, too.
Did it hold up?
It's okay.
I
It
laughed at
definitely wasn't
something.
as funny as, you remember it, but...
What about the Stephen Wright? I heard the Stephen
Young
Wright
Chappelle.
part is hard to watch now. Because it's awkward.
I kind of like that part.
Oh, okay.
That-
All right. I'll have to go back and watch it.
But it's obviously way funnier back in the day, and I was like,
I still think Friday holds up, but that could be nostalgia. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
You got knocked out.
Remember?
I don't know.
Have you heard? Remember when Dave Chappelle won the Mark Twain Award? They got the whole show they put together, and they tell the story. His other writer that helped him write Half-Baked,
Neil Brennan,
Neil
right?
Brennan. When he gave up, they're all speaking. Like he brought up a bunch of his friends and whatever. And Neil Brennan was telling the story of Half-Baked and basically said that they wrote it in 2 days or whatever, like because they just put off writing it or whatever, and they they just threw it together and they were embarrassed of it, but it became this crazy popular movie, even though it is horrible on the outside and low budget and ridiculous.
But it came at the right time.
It's probably just because the genius of Dave Chappelle, right?
Yeah, it hit.
Yeah,
and we'd never really seen, like it was one of the first, other than
Neil
knowing
Brennan
about
too.
Cheech and Chong, it was one of the first like mainstream like weed movies that I know I ever saw. And I thought that the characters in there, like Samson who sells the weed, like those things in that movie make that movie for me. Because you're right, and the cast I thought the whole cast is good.
But it was kind of like the beginning of, or like, I imagine similar to like Chappelle Show. They were just all effing around and kind of like coming up with like, because it was, they wrote the script super quick and they threw it together. Like that's what made it good. If they overcomplicated it, it would never been nothing.
Norm brings up something that I too went through, and it's not fair to this particular comedian, but it is a fact. When I found out that Harlan Williams does not partake in marijuana, never has, it made the movie hit less for me. That I don't know why, and that's not fair to him, because you don't need to smoke marijuana, and who cares? But when I found out that he doesn't, and he's so weird, I think it's like, man, like it's. I don't know how to even.
Well, because then he's just a weirdo. Like, when we thought he was a ridiculous high goat man, we were like,
oh no, that's a different guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jim Brewer. Now you can't even bring him up. He's over there with old Owen Benjamin, and
that's right.
That's a whole different brand of comedy now, sir.
Oh, Jim Brewer. Whatever. Is Jim Brewer still doing it?
Yeah,
he's still doing it.
He's still doing it.
Like how much has Jim Brewer made?
He's done well.
Multi-millionaire.
He's a funny guy.
Like you think Jim Brewer's net worth is over 15 million?
Yeah.
I don't. But
maybe not now. Maybe not now. But I think.
Well, he could have accumulated it.
Well, he was an SNL cast member. He's done movies. He's done full-blown character. Oh,
he's been touring.
Obviously, I'm wrong. He's lost a lot of money, I'm guessing, based on Samantha's.
$3 million.
Oh, wow. Way less than I thought. I thought he at least surpassed 5.
I imagine that's some mismanagement. I mean, I don't know the guy, but
because he's been touring comedy.
I think a lot of people, just because they see people in movies, think that they made a lot of money off that movie, but he might not have. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
It was kind of an indie film then.
Yeah, we don't know.
They didn't have a big budget.
But you can make the money.
He's not like a A-list actor.
Jim Brewer lives in Naples now. The chat room's saying.
Really?
Is that true?
You know what you can? They make the money off of the popularity and their name because they'll sell out clubs and then they'll tour continuously for 8 to 10 years and they'll make.
But do you think Jim Brewer is selling out tours now?
Oh, I know he's not because he still does.
He
still does press. Yeah, he's still doing press.
Well, he'll sell out like the Orlando Improv for the weekend.
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
and that'll make him, depending on his deal, because of his name. He could make $30,000 a weekend. I mean, that's good money.
That's great money.
If you do that for 20 years straight, you should accumulate millions.
Well, I would imagine.
I mean, he might have a lot of debt. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that's why I said mismanagement, trying to be respectful at least. I mean, because I'd probably have a lot more money if I knew how to manage it.
Yeah.
And you don't make anything on SNL, so
yeah. That's it. I know who are the big cast members that just left.
Oh God, there was like 4 of them: Pete Davis, Kate McKinnon. 80 Bryant.
Basically, everybody I really liked.
I know, it was like all my favorite people.
I mean, I don't want to say that because everybody there is obviously funny, and I'm glad they're there. But it's like,
and that's just time to move on, time to start doing bigger things.
Kyle Mooney, that was the last one.
Keenan's just riding it out. Get that money.
What else
Keenan.
is he gonna do?
Yeah, get that money, Keenan. Just ride it out.
Well, you make more money leaving, but at this point,
no, because now he's got his own sitcom.
No,
and he can stay on SNL.
He's the guy now, man.
Well, now you've been there so long.
Enjoy your money.
There's no reason to leave. You're the longest running. You'd be the Brady of SNL, right?
Yeah, you're the guy.
That no one will ever be as long.
Well, here's
on
the
that
thing.
show as you.
The Brady of SNL would mean that you would have to have the most memorable sketches, right?
He's the Frank Gore of SNL.
Okay, yeah.
He's like he was in the best, but he wrote it out, and just over his career, he accumulated
was consistently good.
Yeah, he accumulated
good.
1 million yards.
He's not bad.
Yeah, like you run as much as Barry Sanders. What? What? And then you're like, yep, because I've done it for 20 years.
I did it for the longest.
Yeah,
I'm consistently B+.
Yep, 100%.
That's all you got to be.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Where are we at on? I probably shouldn't even ask this. Did I miss out on the Tom and Dan meat box?
You could still order for pickup.
Okay.
So up until Saturday.
Not trying to mess up our announcements, but sometimes I get my details confused.
Yeah, the Monday was the last time to order.
Gotcha.
To get it before.
And
4th
we're
of
doing
July.
another one though.
Yes, I'm already talking to Jonathan Morris and about
That's right, Jonathan.
offering
Good job.
A couple more options. Like, okay,
Had the hot dogs on my trip. Didn't get a chance to tell you guys.
Oh, yeah,
had
I had
a
the
big
steaks.
bunker buster, big dog hot. Ate 2 of them.
Yeah.
Put myself to bed early. 6:30 bedtime.
so I haven't confirmed this, but my idea would be to keep the original meat box, the 159 meat box, because
Okay.
it gives you a variety,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Then do like a summertime barbecue special where it's $99, but you just get the like jumbo hot dogs and some burgers
Like
and
quick
a
grill,
sausage.
quick grill, yeah.
Like a smaller, and then do like a BDM steak box
Premium.
where you get premium steaks,
Okay.
all
And
steaks.
now you got the old.
Oops, all steaks.
I don't know
That's
how
me.
much that would be, but because I don't know the prices. But
you
Jonathan,
had one of those ribeyes.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Insane marbling. Such a God.
I mean, and he's he has the fillets and the T-bones, so
he has regular burgers like 2080. He got steak burgers if you want to upgrade it.
So
Sausages. I got Polish sausage. I think I'm doing that tonight.
So my idea would be offer those 3 choices next after the 4th of July.
Cool.
It's just
So for pickup only, right now it's still available.
still available, and you could order it the Tom and Dan meat box and go pick it up straight from Organic Meats in Lake Mary.
There you go. TomandDanMeatbox.com to find out more information. You want to do some voicemails and emails?
Yes.
Sam, if you have a couple, I'm a little. But since we went on vacation, I haven't gone through our file as thoroughly as I want to.
Well, let's keep talking food.
Do it.
Another best potato salad recipe.
Okay.
Says, I'm a little late to sending this, and I imagine you've received a lot of recipes claiming to be the best.
I haven't,
but
too.
Please try this one.
Only 2.
It is complicated. You do everything
No.
except sacrifice a goat, but it's worth it.
No.
I've never used the green tomatoes or sweet peppers, only diced dills, and it's been amazing every time. Read through the steps first and be careful you don't make the mistake of throwing out all the water that you cooked the potatoes in down the drain like I
You
sometimes
need that starchy
do.
water, yeah.
And then they've attached
To thicken them up.
this.
maybe,
It also
or-
says, P.S. I've been loving the Mediocre Companion playlist on Spotify.
Yes.
PPS, I like all of your intros no matter how long they are. Leave them alone. Ignore the vocal Debbie Downers.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Also, yeah, go to
Gotta get some
Spotify.
diced dills in your potato salad.
You can look up Tom and Dan Musical Companion, and it has all the music that we have on Friday Free Shows. You can subscribe to that and get all the songs.
I can only eat potato salad off of a paper almost so thin you could see through it, white Dixie plate.
Yes.
that the potato salad starts falling through the plate.
Well, because those plates are not meant to be
yeah.
eaten on. They're meant to write the special of the day for a food truck.
Yeah.
And then you
exactly.
tape it to the door.
I can only eat my potato salad out of that.
Everybody here like potato salad or no?
Yeah.
I love potato salad.
It's one of those things where I won't seek it out, but if it's there in the buffet of the barbecue items, I'll just scoop it.
You do a
just,
scoop?
One scoop.
You like
to be a
eggs in
good
it?
American.
You like eggs in it?
Whatever.
Mustard, a little squirt of mustard, and I guess a relish.
I prefer the non-mustard, but I'll eat it if it's all that's available.
Okay, you like eggs in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like
Red potato, whatever it's red or purple potato, like
fine
fancyfy
with
it.
that.
Fancyfy it a little bit.
I don't like when
I figured you wouldn't.
I want
This man
the
drives a
traditional.
Chevy Silverado. He don't want no purple potatoes.
Yeah, you
Wow.
start putting Lori salt in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, he don't want it. What are you doing? Where are we?
I want plain
Where are we?
white.
Kazakhstan. I want goddamn good.
I want a big Idaho potato.
Brown on the outside.
Yeah.
Real potatoes are brown.
With mayonnaise or whatever the
Yeah.
hell.
Would you rather have potato salad or macaroni salad? What's
I don't-
going at your barbecue?
Okay, I don't get a lot of macaroni salad. The traditional mayonnaise-based mayonnaise mustard. It's almost like potato salad, except you're putting macaroni in there instead of potatoes. I grew up not getting a lot of that because most of my relatives are from Virginia, like true South. So
More
I
potatoes.
think it's more potatoes. What about you, buddy?
You
You look like a macaroni boy.
No, I hate macaroni salad.
Wow. Hate it.
Don't bring it up again.
I
Jesus.
won't even scoop
Apologies.
that in my white paper plate.
Really?
Yeah. If I see macaroni salad, I'll be like, oh, someone hates us.
Yeah.
What
is this, a prank?
Yeah. It's like you did this. It's the equivalent of at the barbecue.
What are you bringing? I bring a turd pie.
What about
You're like-
pasta salad?
Okay, I was going to bring this up.
Sierra
You and I,
Mist.
we have been connecting so much because pasta salad and macaroni salad are completely different.
Yes, they are.
They're completely different animals. Your macaroni salad is a
Creamy.
like a creamy whipped product, whereas
Yeah.
your pasta salad is a drizzled oil Italian dressing type of
Yeah.
deal.
Mm.
What do you
good.
think about pasta salad?
I'll take a pasta salad
I will
over
too.
macaroni
Me
salad
too.
any day.
Me too.
I don't like my pasta.
We know you're not gonna love- okay, all right.
Oh, you don't like cold
I
pasta?
love cold pasta.
I'm a big fan of stereotypes. I don't know if you do this.
Yeah.
I love stereotypes.
hot pasta.
And I think I want hot pasta. I don't want cold pasta. Stinks.
Cucumber salad?
Oh man, can you,
No,
Cucumber
no.
onion
Oh,
salad?
don't get this guy a cold soup, like a cold gazpacho or a
Yeah.
watermelon soup. He'll kick it across the room.
No. If you cold soup,
No,
disgusting.
You can't
Cold
do that.
soup doesn't sound good.
Well, a lot of chefs, you go to a high-end restaurant, they're like, today we have a cucumber and watermelon chilled bisque.
Yeah,
I don't
And I'm
know.
like, you know what? You're as safe as a macaroni salad, aren't you?
I want French onion.
Hot with a bread on the top. Give me a hot soup with a bread cap on it.
Let's do a voicemail.
All right, let's try this one. It might be Mike B. I'm not sure. It
Might be.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam. Mike Pete from the Ono Radio Show here, and I had a question that I've been kind of mulling over for a little bit. But would you eat at a restaurant that did not clearly display its prices? Like, it would have a menu, and it would have all the options there, but there were just no pricing on it. And you just ordered, and then at the end, they brought you a bill. Would you be okay with doing that? Thanks, guys. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
It's a strange question, but I don't think I would because I think, oh, these guys are going to get us at the end. I'm going to be fighting my way out of here.
I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't. Okay, this may be like I still have so much leftover poorness inside, poor white trash inside me that
Trash on the inside.
I can't bring myself to ordering the most expensive thing on the menu.
I don't like doing it either.
Because I get instant buyer's remorse, and I'm like, "What? You don't deserve this. What do you think you are, King Tut?"
You know, yeah. You know what?
I do deserve a free hot fish sandwich.
He's right. I do this all the time.
Now I'll order. Now it doesn't. Now it's not because of price. Because I can afford it, and I will order an expensive as whatever at an expensive, like say we go to Crest, right?
Oh man,
Or-
that's a good steakhouse here in town.
or whatever. Like
You been to Crest? Sam?
No, I haven't.
You know-
I haven't in 15 years. We should go as a show.
I'm down.
It's easier now that we've lost members. Better bill.
It's not about the price of the whole thing.
It's about the experience and the taste.
No, it's about the psychology of ordering the most expensive thing. Like even at an expensive restaurant, I'll go 2 notches down from the
Me
most
too.
expensive. Like I won't do like give me the best and the most expensive you have. I don't have.
I
the
don't even fall for
self-esteem
the-
for that, or like I can't bring myself to it.
I don't even fall for the double meal. And what I mean by that is there are meals that are perfectly priced for a couple. That's like, the King's Feast, and it's like you share
Sure,
it, right?
yeah.
And it'll be like $79, which if you're at a super fancy restaurant, that's really not that bad for 2 people, like
Right.
for 2 entrees and like all the sides and everything. But whenever I see that price, I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Absolutely can't. Even if Andrea wanted it, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I just get a
But
$14 pulled pork sandwich. I just get the small.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
Because it is not even it's more about the psychology of the most expensive thing. Like even if the restaurant, okay, you go to a fancy
Do
restaurant.
you feel like the waiter judges you if you go there and you order the most expensive thing? Is that what the bumpkin would do?
No.
Is that what Tarzan would do? Like Tarzan comes to
No.
the city and they put him in the steakhouse and he orders the Wagyu.
To me, it's like the fillet, like
the fillet is the basic steak. That's boring.
It is, but it's like that's all I need. Like I don't need because
no flavor in that, man.
The difference between what I'm saying, like I'll get the medium option because to me my enjoyment level between the medium and the best.
Oh, you're doing it again.
It's not going to go on.
Okay.
So I'll have just because the medium option is going to be good. It's still expensive, but I can't get the best because I don't deserve the best.
Wow.
You wanted the best. This ain't it.
Yeah, you wanted the best, but you don't deserve the best.
No.
Because it's I don't know. It's a psychology thing for me.
Have you guys ever done? I mean, have you ever gone like against your own principles and said, you know what, I'm going to get the most expensive thing? Like
yes, and I regretted it.
Okay.
And
Was it the Vegas thing, or
Nope.
where did you guys go?
That was a Vegas steakhouse,
Yeah.
and we didn't. I just got
we didn't get the
a
most
good
expensive thing.
fillet.
Yeah, he kind of talked me out of even like
There
once
wasn't
he
really
went
an option.
fillet.
It was just like you could get like 3 different steaks, and then the sides you.
But
want.
once he got the fillet, it's not like I was going to get the porterhouse or something. You know what I mean? Like because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, he already got the fillet. And it's like,
Make it petite, please.
I made this happened when our 10-year wedding anniversary in the Bahamas. Right, we went out to dinner one night, like to I guess the closest, fanciest.
two Bahama mamas, please.
And so we're eating
fritters.
We're eating dinner at this restaurant. It was like a nice seafood restaurant, and like on the ocean or whatever.
Oh, wow. You're
And
definitely getting laid after that, buddy.
in like they call it New Providence,
You got the
Bahamas,
steak
or
farts.
Nassau, but. But
Sex during the steak farts.
I said I'm gonna,
Oof.
it's my 10-year wedding anniversary. I'm
Yeah,
gonna treat
live
myself.
a little.
Yeah.
Also, I'm trying.
Also, treat your wife.
Well, we brought the nanny too, so I wanted her to see.
Did you bring the nanny to the restaurant?
Yeah, we brought her. Well, because she came with us to watch the kids while we went scuba diving, and that's where we
You
wanted
should
to
have
do.
left the nanny and the kids at the hotel, and you guys go to dinner alone.
yeah, you brought your nanny to dinner.
That's
Yeah.
pretentious.
For
as
your
hell.
anniversary?
That is pretentious.
Yeah, well, I mean, we went on the trip for the anniversary. The dinner was just like, hey, let's go out to dinner. Let's do a nice
It's not
dinner.
her anniversary.
Yeah, but it was like, we're
Your
all.
logic is all over.
Yeah, I agree with the chat room. King Tut wouldn't have done that.
God damn it. That's all I wanted to be. Anyway.
Yeah, King Tut wouldn't have brought his nanny to the table.
So-
I'll tell you that right. That was not in the Tut household.
So I looked at the menu and I'm like, and there was something like the lobster supreme or something.
Oh,
like that, right?
lobster supreme. That's a
Gross.
wrapper.
And it was like,
That's a lobster with tomatoes and sour cream.
and it was like $68 or something.
oh yeah,
Like,
you're talking about what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
and it was
That's
like
what I'm talking about, like the Emperor's Feast.
it was the most expensive like seafood dish on the
Yes,
thing. It was
get
like
it.
$68 lobster supreme.
Lobster
right?
supreme.
And,
Lobster
then, and then
supreme.
I'm like, I'm getting lobster supreme, right? And then
And I want you guys to call me that too.
And then, so the waiter comes out and
supreme, sir.
and he brings me a gigantic. I mean, the plate was 1.5 foot wide, or whatever.
I was a big silver platter.
with the whole lobster,
Yes,
the
tail,
whole
claws,
the long,
eyeballs.
the antennas
Yeah,
were sticking
eyeballs,
out.
vertebrae.
2 feet until everything like
Feet.
the eyeballs are still attached to a tiny stick.
Yeah, he's got the feet that look like little sticks off a tree.
And it was a gigantic and then around the lobster.
Did you just start
was-
smashing it with a hammer? And
No. My first thought was, I didn't know it was on. I
don't want no. You yelled at the window. I don't want no creature. Is that what you yelled at him? Your first thought was you yelled.
And then, like,
I thought
does
it
your
was lobster.
nanny eat
Were you-
lobster because your wife doesn't?
Were you
right?
No,
like,
I ordered it
what
for
the hell
myself.
is it? Did you yell at- What the hell is this?
I didn't
Oh, I
know.
thought you were going to share the lobster
No.
supreme.
My
Oh.
wife
You've never.
My
a
wife
man,
doesn't eat seafood.
Let me tell you, Sam. You know what? Just
Oh, my kids
pipe
are
down over
horrified.
there.
I don't know anything about this.
King Tut does not share his lobster supreme. Are you out of your effing mind? Are you crazy?
Wow.
My son
Tut does not share.
I think Max is real little. He started like he was crying.
Oh,
because
my
I killed
God.
him, like,
Lobster supreme.
That's why you leave the kid at home.
and then
With the nanny, you order them a Papa John.
Yeah.
and then I gag-ate it because I was $68.
Did you eat the whole thing?
No, I mean
ate the
I
shell
didn't
and
gag.
all.
No, like
You ate the lettuce it was sitting
Well, it's
on.
like I don't need the whole body.
Yeah,
like I
just
just
give
want
me
the
the
tail.
tail,
Like,
yeah. That's what I
just,
tell my wife.
I just need the tail. I know it's about the presentation and everything, but then I'm like, the problem is like the potatoes and all the sides of the game was like intermingled with
Yeah,
its
I don't-
feet.
I don't like that, you know?
And then I didn't know what to do. Like I took the whole other part of
You
lobster.
Don't lay the claws in the mashed potatoes.
like even
Oh.
and listen, I'm not a.
Did you wash those claws before you squashed them in the mashed potatoes?
Like I've lobstered before in Miami many a times, but when you like when you get back to the dock, you literally alive rip the tail off the lobster and throw its body into the water.
It's the highest form of flattery.
And then you use its antenna to
clean out its BH.
Its own antenna, which always has the biggest insult to the lobster.
Here, look at this.
But it's a perfect tool to take the intestines out. Anyway,
Not our eyes.
I'm not a snowflake with about lobsters. I wasn't expecting the whole lobster on the plate.
It's off-putting.
And then I had to put it on the side of my.
Well, it's the only animal they do it. They do a fish too. Sometimes they'll bring you like a fish with a head on it. And I'm like, well, I don't need the head. I don't need that. You know, they don't bring a cow to your steak and they just put like a. They don't put like a tiny like a hoof or a tail. Attach the tail to the side of the plate like a cell phone charm.
I know it's a thing and it's a culinary thing, but
I don't need to see it. I believe you that it's fish. I believe. I don't need it. I think that looks like a fish to me.
Was it like an old school thing to prove that it's the fish that you're eating? Because they can give you a different type of like all white fish.
I think some are better cooked. It's like
in
whole
its body?
hog. Like I took Andrea to this place in South Carolina. We went to Rodney Scott's Barbecue. It's really, really good, and he specializes in whole hog barbecue. Well, it's still pulled pork. I mean, but he's cooking the entire pig, you know. And Andrea was confused by it. She's like, "Yeah, it's pulled pork, right?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." But she, of course, when we got up there, she didn't believe me. She asked the lady. I was insulted. I was like, "I've been telling you what it is. You think I'm an idiot?"
Yeah. So does that make the meat taste better when you cook the whole animal together?
I think some people will say it does. I'm gonna say that it's negotiable. I'm gonna say it's up to you. Because
it feels like more of a presentation and like a party thing to like, you know, have a whole hog being cooked at the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's more of a.
Here's what I would say about it. The pulled pork had less of the spices and the spice rub mixed into it because I believe it was cooked as a whole hog.
Right.
So what I was getting was like pulled pork that was very flavorful but very plain. You know, like tasted like really good high quality meat with a Carolina vinegar based sauce with pepper in it on top of it. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But like other places when they like maybe just do a pork butt, I think you get more of the char, more of that bark, more of that like that spice rub mixed into the pulled pork, which is kind of what Andrea was looking for. So I think that is the difference.
It seems more of a part of the party and the event to cook the full pig. Like, you know, in Miami they do it underground on banana leaves.
Steve does it at Porky's for big events. He'll cook a whole hog for you if you want that. But he can do that.
Jonathan said he'd do it for us too.
Oh yeah. But it's more. It's got to be more of like there's a percentage of it just being the event as opposed to the best way to do it flavor-wise.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Right?
I think the best way to do it flavor-wise would be to take each part you want to smoke and do it individually.
That's what I would think,
yeah,
right?
I think so too.
It's not like you're retaining any sort of moisture or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it?
I think maybe in a whole hog you are because you're not processing all of that's processing, right? Every time you touch it, you're taking moisture out. I think it's just like audio tape. Like every time you take audio and you manipulate it, you're degrading
diminishing the quality.
Yeah, I think whole hog, the reason it's good is because you're basically taking an animal, minimally processing it, and then smoking it good.
It's like don't break the sausage casing on the grill and let all the juices out.
Is that your new rap song? I like that.
Bye-bye.
Are we? Oh.
We're out.